adjusting my underwear. I'm actually not wearing pants right now either because I'm washing them.
Oh.
No, I know. I'm about to eat some taquitos and drink some Propel, and then we'll play something tonight.
Man, you live a full life.
Yeah, this is nuts right now. You know, things you do with a bonus paycheck.
Hi, John.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm quite good.
Quite. Can you define quite? Like, how much more good are you than me?
20%, like better or
More good.
oh, more good.
Yeah.
20%.
Okay.
Yeah.
20% of zero is still zero, John.
But you're 1%.
I am the 1%. It's true.
You're the 1%. Yeah. Okay. So, I have XSplit open. I guess I'm gonna have to go through XSplit if I'm doing this. I accidentally opened it, and now it actually seems as if this is the way to go. So,
Okay. Well, why don't you tell everyone why you're panicking right now?
why I'm panicking?
Yeah.
Well, the new Panic at the Disco album is not out, so I'm panicking, trying to figure out if I'm going to listen to it or not, or if I'm going to be able to listen to it.
I really didn't like how bands for a while were just using like full phrases as their band names.
Yeah.
Like Panic at the Disco or Death from Above 1979. Like, those aren't band names. Those are headlines.
That's fair. Okay, yeah. So yeah, like Child Trapped in Car. Like
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Mayor indicted on fraud.
That's a pretty good band name, though. Like if I went to like a church and they had like a gospel band called that, I'd be more inclined to listen to their music.
Yeah, because if that doesn't tell, you got to hook me.
Yeah.
What does your band name say about you? You got to tell me a story. Cake? I like Cake. I'll listen to that.
Sure. What about Faith No More? It's more of like a description rather than like a title, like a headline. I'm trying to think of favorite bands that I like. Pop Will Eat Itself is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And that was like early 90s, mid 90s.
God Lives Underwater.
God Lives Underwater. Joan Jett.
Yeah, Joan Jett's a good one.
Joan Jett, yeah, the big Joan Jett of '84.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that made a national headline.
Well, back when everyone used to fly Joan Airlines.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Get on a Joan jet and you'd hightail it off to Monaco for the weekend.
That's right. Do some racing. Get a couple laps in.
Yeah. It's been a long week at the office. Trading stocks.
Yeah, trading places.
Yeah, watching Trading Places on your VHS.
Yep, while you trade stocks in Monaco.
Yep.
So right before we started this, we were discussing a Police Academy game, and there's never been one, unless there was like a PC one that probably existed.
Yeah, it was probably like a collection of interactive Bobcat Goldthwait screensavers.
Yeah.
But you know what? I did have as a kid this like insanely large collection of floppy disks. I want to say it was like 28 floppy disks, and it was called Mr. Sound Effects.
Okay.
And what it was a collection of Windows sound effects that you could use and for, alerts or startup or shutdown or crashes, all that good stuff. All of the sound effects were performed by Michael Winslow.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. That's a pretty good gig.
Yeah. So you could just have a Michael Winslow tricked out PC.
Exhibit. Okay. So what was the best sound effect?
There was like a cool like robot like when you would like shut down. I liked that one.
Okay, like the PlayStation turning on noise, except for in reverse.
Oh my lord!
What, are you finding all the Police Academy games?
I found one.
Is it like Maniac Mansion or Shadowgate?
No, it's made by Tengen for the NES.
Weird, it's like Ghostbusters. Because that's what I think of. If I think of a licensed Police Academy game, I think they have to have copied Ghostbusters.
Okay, so they have a blurb. I'm gonna cut the blurb down.
Okay.
Former Tengen programmer Steve Wojta was involved with the Police Academy game for the Nintendo. You may remember Steve. He sometimes makes appearances at classic gaming conventions and is such a cool guy.
Okay.
The game was likely based off of the cartoon.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah. It had been programmed by Steve Wojta, and it needed only a month or so to be completed. It play tested well. One of Tengen's executives said, "Stop it. We're gonna hire a new team to work on a Police Academy game." The one,
okay, it was in the middle of development, and they just stopped.
yeah, they just stopped what he was doing and started from scratch.
Okay.
The new team made a Super Mario Bros. 2 clone, according to Steve, and it was horrible and therefore not released.
Did you pick up, like, if you were playing as like a high tower, could you like pick up a pedestrian and then like
You could pick up a fire hydrant much faster than, say, Murdoch.
Oh yeah. Okay. A police, okay, because they had a lot of series that came out in the 80s that had movies, and then they ended up making cartoons of them, like a lot of things.
Yeah, like Predator.
The Predator cartoon. There was the real Ghostbusters, which is different than the Ghostbusters, but they were the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, because there was already a cartoon called Ghostbusters.
Right. So you're sort of skirting legal issues, even though I guess you still have the license completely. That's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange.
The 80s were a weird time. I was thinking about, we had a toy store here a long time ago. And this is the first place I ever remember seeing a Nintendo, not like Sears and not Toys R Us, not any of those places. But it was called Lionel's Playworld.
Okay.
And I remember when my dad first said, "Do you want to go to Lionel's Playworld?" It's kind of like when they said, "Do you want to go to Uncle Cliff's?" or "Do you want to go to the family's getting a Toyota for a car." And by Toyota, I thought they meant like, they just said Toyota, and naturally little kids think, "Oh, a Toyota, that's cool." Or when we were going to go to Uncle Cliff's, I thought, "Oh, we have an uncle named Cliff, we're going to go visit him." And then we ended up going to an amusement park instead. Very confusing. But Lionel's Playworld, I thought it was Lion-O from Thundercats.
Okay.
It was not. It was like the mascot was like a kangaroo with a t-shirt, I think. I have to double check that. I'm not sure what the mascot actually was, because it has been since like 1985 probably, or 86. They didn't last like super long. But I believe, holy smokes, I'm putting peppers. Oh, it was Lionel. Okay. I thought it was actually a different spelling. Lionel's Playworld. Kitty City. Okay, it was a kangaroo. He had a shirt. He had a Joey.
A Joey shirt?
A Joey shirt. Yeah, Joey Fatone.
A big airbrush Joey Fatone face, like a Scarface shirt, but a Joey. I want that now. Jesus.
I know, that's the problem with having good impromptu ideas, is that none of them have come to fruition or ever.
Like a 3XL baggy black T-shirt with just like a white and silver spray paint Joey Fatone face on it. Yeah.
See? Okay. Joey Fatone is like our age. That's weird. T-shirt of a little kid who would be in a popular boy band. I keep putting peppers in my throat.
You should stop doing that. It's making me cough a lot.
Not gonna happen.
All right, well, then keep going. Do another one.
It's happening. So Nico's here. He says, it's good to be here, man. I bet growing up in the 80s and 90s was neat. And right now I'm sort of on that kick. Not that I'm not kind of perpetually on it, but especially with discussion where Nintendo Power has recently been archived.
Yes.
Not all of them, but a very good chunk of them.
The first 13 years, I believe.
Yeah, that's a lot of issues. And arguably some of the greatest stuff came out of many of those issues. I have my whole collection over here after this. Hold on. This pepper is inside me, but in the wrong spot.
It's in your lung.
Yeah, I breathed it.
You breathed the pepper.
Breathed my last. Anyway, I think that's better. I'm not sure. But growing up with Nintendo Power I even posted something from an old article I'd written about 4 years ago when Nintendo Power shut its doors, and it was recanting the impact that the magazine had on me and how it helped get me to read, and what Howard and Nestor meant, classified information, Counselor's Corner, all these things. But it came at a time when if you wanted video game information, it was strictly monthly.
Yeah.
Better hope you had the magazine that had the coverage that you wanted. You might get an EGM, you might get Game Pro, you might get, Ultra Game Players, which is a little bit later. But Nintendo Power was kind of at like the forefront of the console. There's been a handful of like PC magazines that talked about the tech and maybe like I don't know if they mentioned games too much. But Nintendo Power and the Nintendo Fun Club newsletter were the items on the streets that got kids like me to read. Because they came out around the time that Mario 2 showed up, and I was in first grade and I was reading, clearly by that point, but it was what inspired me to read better and faster and to, gain a larger vocabulary, and it was the ultimate kind of incentive. And kids, I didn't have a subscription for about like a year and a half in, I think, and they're coming out every 2 months at the time. But it's all around the time of watching Monster Squad, and my friend's brother had like a denim jacket and like a single like cross earring hanging from like his left ear. And it's fun because just as much as watching like Pretty in Pink or listening to The Cure or any one of these 80s vehicles,
yeah,
Nintendo it's very much a part of that. It's all in one lump sum experience for me. What was your experience growing up like with video games and magazines and that kind of impact?
I didn't have my first video game magazine subscription until I was probably 9 or 10. So it was like 93, 94. My parents would never get me Nintendo Power. I did buy one of them we would do things at our school like once a year where we'd have like a student garage sale basically where everyone could just bring in whatever they wanted and sell it for like $0.25 a piece. And you'd bring like, $3 or $4 in change if you had it, and just buy used shit from other students. And I bought the
shit.
Just used shit, not new shit. That's food.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think there's I was in like first or second grade, and there was a sixth grader who was selling the 4-player Nintendo Power special issue.
Was it like the one? Okay, it had like the football cover on the front.
Yep, with the red border. So that was the only issue of Nintendo Power that I had, and I read that thing like a billion times, even though I didn't have a 4-player adapter.
Yeah,
and I wasn't super interested in a lot of the games they covered because most of them were very good. But yeah, I didn't really. I only subscribed to Game Player's Sega Nintendo from 93 to 95. And then I had like the odd EGM subscription in the late 90s, and then like a couple years of Game Informer in the early 2000s, and that's it. That's all I've ever.
What was your experience like? What were your favorite magazines? Nintendo Power was my favorite, but I remember thinking EGM was like slightly more adultish because they covered more stuff, and it was a little bit more straightforward. It wasn't quite as colorful and bouncy. But Game Pro to me, I liked it, but it was always sort of like the third rate. I liked it. There's a lot of stuff I loved Swap Pro, but like the personalities I always remember making me mad.
Yeah, I always thought that the dumb faces were dumb, but I did as a kid, I did think it was sort of like, oh, we've made it. Because you go to rent a movie and you'd see like, oh, Roger Ebert gives it 4 stars, and like the New York Times says it's a masterpiece, and you could go get like a Super Nintendo game and it would have the Game Pro rating on the box sometimes, and I liked that. I thought that was like a cool thing. But no, Game Players was the one that I like. EGM and Game Informer I had just because like I'd gotten roped into getting them through GameStop or something like that. But Game Players I enjoyed, and I read them a lot, and I liked the personalities who wrote for them. People like Chris Slate and
great, man.
Yeah, Chris Slate. He was so entertaining. Like back when he was just like a columnist, and then he became the editor. And I mean, he was really. I really liked his style. I'm trying to remember the other guys' names. I know there was like
the thing they do, the Jaded Gamer, like Phil or something like that.
I
I can't remember his name, but
yeah, I don't remember. But I remember thinking that it was cool that they sort of organized their reviewers by genre. Like there was this, I think it was Doug would always cover like RPGs and puzzle games, and his picture was like he just looked like the nerdiest dude on the planet. So I was like, okay, I can probably trust this guy's his his input on RPGs and puzzle games. Because if I asked him to review like a sports game, he probably wouldn't give a crap.
Right.
So I thought that was neat, and I like the amount of features they had.
Did you ever read? I don't remember what he was writing before. What was his name? Dave Halverson?
No.
Is that the dude from Judas Priest? Hold on, I'm trying to remember.
No, that's Rob Halford.
Rob Halford. Okay, good. So I'm actually thinking of the right guy. So Dave Halverson.
I almost said Ron Halpert, and that would have been really wrong.
Dave Halverson is actually. I was reading a lot of his stuff in Edge.
Okay.
And the reason I actually ended up really sort of digging into his past at some point, and this was years ago, he wrote a lot of really great objective reviews. He didn't like the scoring structure.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't all about grades or numbers or anything. He wrote. Bear with me here. He wrote a big review on Bionic Commando 2009, and it was like a 3-page spread, and it was all just describing what the game sort of was and what it represented and what went into it and why certain design choices were made. And he ended up really liking it. But I liked that he described the game for what it was rather than, well, this is clunky, this is bad, this is, and putting those to numbers that were the only things that people focused on. And it was that point that I kind of got sucked in and said, okay, well, cool, we have, pretty similar reviews. I wonder what other stuff he likes, and went and checked out a bunch of his older reviews and found stuff online. Turns out, hey, we've got 90% the same sort of taste in general, but he's a very gifted writer, and he made everything seem interesting. Even stuff I wasn't interested in, he would write about it and go, oh, well, he's putting it to poetry almost. And it made things more interesting to me, and I wanted to get into it more simply because his take on it made it look more delicious.
Okay.
He was not in the band Judas Priest, however.
That's a shame. I think he would have did some really good.
Yeah, exactly. Some really good Bionic Commando covers. And
so speaking of review scores, we've talked about this a lot.
Yeah, this comes up often.
We are both anti-review score.
Correct.
But it's fun to look at them.
Sure.
I think you have to. It helps make a snap judgment if all you're interested in making is a snap judgment.
Yeah, like what is the general consensus concept? I guess it's still one dude's, but.
So the topic came up yesterday. We were talking about IGN and their laughable review scores at times.
Right.
God Hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what else. But so I have up here right now in front of me the 10 highest rated N64 games by IGN.
IGN, okay.
And these reviews came out when these games came out, I think, for the most part. So would you like to take a crack at guessing what IGN says the best 10 N64 games of all time are?
There's a Madden up there somewhere, because I'm pretty sure. Am I correct?
You are. It's not in the top 10. There is a very high Madden, though. There is I think it's in like the top 30.
Okay, that's still a pretty high score considering how many. 364 games. But something I remember reading about was the concept of scores being really bunk and bogus because say you have Ocarina of Time, it's like a 9.6.
Yeah.
But then you have the best Madden game to date, and everybody loves it. Does it also get a 9.6, or because it's not as good as Zelda's and a 9.5? Or if you like it for being the best Madden game, does it get a 9.7, meaning people view it as a better game than Zelda? And it was such a convoluted idea of, well, if the next Madden game isn't a 9.8, then it's not as good and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It was such a complicated. This is why like the review system is so bonkers, is because if you give a game a 10, does that mean no other game can be better, or is it only just as good if it gets a 10 as well? Complicated. Okay, so the top 10.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the first Madden here. I'm already down in the 50s, so I guess not. Okay, Madden 99 got an 8.5. Okay. For reference, all of the games in the top 10 are between 9.5 and 10.
Okay. Ocarina of Time I know is in there.
That is number 1. That is the only 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 for the 64.
No. Tony Hawk 1 got a 9.1.
Okay, so it's pretty close. Still not top 10. Certainly not Earthworm Jim. We're gonna say
Yeah.
Mario 64.
Mario 64 is number 5.
Okay. Banjo Kazooie.
Banjo Kazooie is number 9.
Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark is number 4.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye is number 8.
Cruising USA. No. Okay, so I've got a little more than half right now.
I think you're sitting at half.
Okay. Mario Kart, Smash Brothers.
No and no.
No, really?
No.
Okay. Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask is number 3.
Okay. Let's see here. Thinking. So not Mario Kart and not Smash Brothers. That's impressive. Donkey Kong 64.
No.
Banjo Tooie.
Banjo Tooie is number 11.
Dang. Okay. Barely. Just missed it. All right. I know there's got to be something in here that's Beetle Venture Racing.
No, but that one did score very high as well. I think that's in the top. Yeah, it's like that's a 9.1.
Okay, so that's still pretty good. How many are in like the 9s? How many games?
Let me hang on a second. I can tell you. Oh shit. John, shit.
I will. Did I? Yeah, I already did.
I did too. I think I've shit a couple times today, actually.
I did too, twice. It was great.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, the top 25 are all 9s and up. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 37 9s.
37, okay.
9s and up.
Okay, that's still a pretty good spread. Ken popped in a couple ones. I don't know if like the actual answers or if it's suggestions. Jet Force Gemini, Wave Race.
Yes, Wave Race is number 6.
Wow. Okay. I love that game though.
I do too.
I also love Blue Storm, by the way.
Yeah, I do. I completely agree. I would rather play Blue Storm than 64, and I think 64 is a great game.
Yeah. Kensuke Kimachi.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a man of all sports.
He is.
And Rob Haywood, most importantly.
He's the Bo Jackson and Ricky Winterborn.
Ricky Winterborn, that's true.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the list. We'll go down, and we'll keep going if you're interested. So number 1, The Only 10, Ocarina of Time.
Sure.
Tied for second are Conker's Bad Fur Day and Majora's Mask at 9.9.
Okay.
And then tied for 4th is Perfect Dark and Mario 64 at 9.8.
Okay.
So that's our top 5.
Sure.
Numbers 6, 7, and 8, Wave Race 64, Excite Bike 64, and GoldenEye.
I actually wouldn't expect Excite Bike on there. I love the game.
I do too, but yeah, it's strange to see like as an editor's choice.
Yeah, I would not expect that in any way. That's interesting.
Number 8, I said number 8 was GoldenEye. Number 9 is Banjo Kazooie. Number 10 is Space Station Silicon Valley.
That's interesting. I also love the game, but I would not peg it to be on anybody's top 10 list. I mean, I guess like from a professional standpoint, maybe like a fan list.
Yeah.
I love the game. I think it's great. It's super creative and very silly and fun. I expect something like Doom 64, which is, I think, one of the greatest versions of Doom to that point.
So once you get through 11 to 20, it gets weird. So Banjo Tooie's number 11, and that's a 9.4. Number 12 and number 13 are NBA Courtside 2 featuring Kobe Bryant and NFL Blitz 2000, 9.2 each.
Fair enough. Where's Gauntlet? I know Gauntlet's got to be up there pretty high.
I don't think it is.
Really?
So now we're at 14, and there's a whole block of 9.1s, and there's a lot of sports games.
Okay.
So we've got All-Star Baseball 2001, F-Zero X.
Oh, that should be number 1.
Shadow Man.
That should be number 1. So.
Resident Evil 2.
But real quick, did you play Shadow Man?
I have it on Steam. I haven't played it yet, though.
Okay, well, I'd like to play it on Steam because it's high res. And the first thing he says, this is why I like this game. I rented this. And just, it's a big black dude with dark sunglasses holding a gun. He's shirtless on the cover of a 64 game. And when you start off the game, you turn it on, and like the first thing that happens is he just goes, "I hate this shit," and like that's the first line of dialogue. And I don't know, man. Also, Ken guessed Excite Bike, so
yep, he called it.
It's pretty good. Okay, so we're up to
Yeah, so the other 9.1s, Wipeout 64, International Superstar Soccer 98, Beetle Adventure Racing, NFL Blitz, and Tony Hawk.
Okay, first Tony Hawk.
First Tony Hawk.
Did they? I didn't really play the 64 version. Did they squeeze the licensed music into that one?
Yes and no. They stripped the vocals out of a lot of the songs to save on compression.
Interesting.
And some of the other songs they just sort of cut down into like 30-second chunks.
Oh, weird.
But there's like 2 songs that you can listen to in there. I want to say in their entirety, but I think it might just stop at 2 minutes. And it should be Superman by Goldfinger. There's another one too, I think, but I can't remember. I know that Jerry Was a Race Car Driver has no lyrics. It's just the instrumental.
So, like, it's weird to me to think of that instrumental track existing, and then Primus is like, sure, I guess you can use that instead. Or if, like, one of their programmers went in and, like, reprogrammed the game using 64, like, MIDI, and then you hear the song just through, like, the 64 sound chip.
Maybe. But no, it's better. It sounds like compressed.
Where does Castlevania 64 or Legacy of Darkness sit?
On that list?
Yeah.
I have not seen them.
I feel they're probably pretty low. I don't think IGN was too keen on those at the time.
Yeah.
I feel like
at this point, I'm gonna have to look at like the numbers.
Yeah.
Great numbers. They not. Let's try this. Cabstelvam Diaz.
Oh, weird. That's really weird.
That's weird. It says no results. Oh, because I'm filtering by platform. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go N64. They also have an N-Gage review section, so you can see how they ranked N-Gage games.
I would like to hear all the N-Gage. I'm turning the speakers down on this TV. Okay. N-Gage games. We know it. I perpetually have an N-Gage game here. I might have moved it because I was cleaning up my office briefly. I don't know where it is, but I think it's Spider-Man with a copy of Tony Hawk in it as well.
Castlevania, they gave an 8.2. Legacy of Darkness, they gave a 6.8.
6.8. Did you play those games?
I played Castlevania 64 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've never gotten a chance to play Legacy of Darkness.
Okay. I think they had a couple issues. It was just sort of like the 3D, sort of transition for a lot of people. You have Symphony of the Night with like the tightest control ever, and then you have 64 show up, and it's a little bit sloppier, but it's not a bad game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. To be totally honest. Well,
do you think you can guess what they thought the 10 worst N64 games were?
The 10 worst? God Hand?
N64.
God
Hand 64, yeah.
Exactly what I meant.
Not including import games. There's a couple imports on this list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Worst? Did they like Mystical Ninja? Did they like Goemon?
I think so. I don't think they liked it a lot. I think they probably gave like a 7 something, maybe.
Is Doraemon on there?
That's one of the worst ones, yeah. They gave it a 3.
I like that game. It's not really, really good, but I liked it. Okay, so worst, huh? Like truly like bottom of the barrel? Paperboy 64.
No.
Really?
I will tell you that Superman is not on this list.
Okay. I mean, Superman's a bad game. It's still one of those games that I think gets caught up in the hype of I've heard it's really bad, and it is a bad game. But I've definitely played worse.
These are weird. I honestly don't think you'll be able to get very many of these.
So Ken in the chat says, where are all the Game.com reviews?
That is a fine question.
IGN really was low. 7. I've seen a lot of low IGN scores, but in that era, I don't remember seeing as many. I suppose.
Cruising USA, they gave a 4.
Sounds good. Yeah.
That is on the first page of bad.
Report. Top 10 worst, huh? I'm still trying to think. Did you play Paperboy 64?
Yes, that was actually the first N64 game that I was able to emulate because my computer wouldn't run N64 games, but Paperboy 64 was so bad that it would work.
They had a budget of like, you're allowed 300 polygons. Go.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. It's a terrible game.
Yeah, not so good. I'm trying to think of like just like the crappiest because I've played stuff that has been like this isn't.
Yeah, there was a lot of like N64. N64 was like the first system where like I had played some disappointing NES and SNES games, but
Mhm.
for the most part, I just sort of like rolled with it. Like there was very few that I was just like, oh, this is a piece of shit. Like I'm taking it back to the store.
Yeah.
But I rented some N64 games back in the day that I was just like, well, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah, I had done the same. Did you ever play Monster Truck Madness?
No.
It's a fun one to bring up to people because it's a Rockstar made game published by Microsoft on the Nintendo 64. And so
Okay.
it's one of those cool sort of mind Fs.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad game though. You have monster trucks, you can get like jets and like fly around. It doesn't make any sense, but I think that was also I like when games would just sort of say whatever, here's how you play. Buck Bumble.
Nope.
Good. I like that game actually. Chameleon Twist 1 or 2. No, I like those games.
Nope.
I didn't like them. Okay, good. Shoot. I'm trying to think of just the worst of the worst. I always feel like it has to be just like some sports game that nothing was put into.
There are a couple sports games on this list.
Okay. Shoot. Go for it. I don't know.
So the worst is Carmageddon 64.
I think I played the 64 version.
I haven't either, but I've heard pretty unanimously that it is terrible.
It's terrible? Okay.
IGN gave it a 1.3.
Wow.
Batman Beyond after that got a 2.
I was talking to a customer, and this is sort of like where that charm of like people's experience comes in. We had a customer who came in and they found a copy of that game and he was so excited, and he wanted to double check and make sure it was the right game that he was buying because he didn't want to go home with the wrong game. And we watched a YouTube video just to make sure. And he was like, "Yep, that's the one. I'm so excited." So he bought it and went home and loved it. But
Perfect.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. You know what? Ken brings up an Olympics game as well too. It's a hockey game tied with the Olympics.
Yeah, I think it's like Olympic Hockey 98.
So I don't think I rented that. I rented just hockey. They're not the hockey, just the Olympics.
Maybe.
I mean, this one was just like winter games and whatever. Not epics and winter games, but whatever company was doing it at the time.
You.
Me, I was when I was in my 64 programming phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nagano Olympic hockey. Maybe it was actually.
Yeah.
Nagano Winter Games, but it might have been hockey with the Olympics. And I remember that's where I first learned about curling, and I was trying to figure out how to play curling on the 64. And
games about the Olympics are generally not good because if your job is to sit down and make like a hockey game,
Mhm.
you can do that.
Yeah.
If your job is to make a hockey game and 80 other games,
yeah, it's like that fun pack, like 50 in one kind of like.
yeah.
Each game was programmed in a day. Kind of thing. Okay. I rented Jeopardy as well too. I think I rented Wheel of Fortune. I was dating a girl at the time, and we used to play Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune on her NES constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And she had this really interesting thing where we would be playing Jeopardy, and questions would come up, and she would constantly be guessing Mickey Rooney. Don't know. I just remember that. That's how I learned about Mickey Rooney, like being like somebody. I'd heard the name, I kind of knew him, but she guessed him for a lot of things because she knew that one of the answers was that. So statistically, I guess Mickey Rooney is probably good to keep checking out just in case.
Yeah. He's up to.
Yeah, what are you doing, Mickey?
Oh, got a crazy echo all of a sudden. I think it's gone now. Is it gone now? I don't know. Stop saying stuff. Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. Good. All right. So we talked about the NX last week.
Yeah. Now it's out. Nobody bought it.
Now it's out. Nobody picked it up.
Nintendo's dead.
Microsoft S is what it's
Yeah,
called.
which apparently has a little tiny Master Chief on the inside of all consoles.
That's right here. Yeah. I don't know how many people will discover it because, I generally don't open new systems.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of cute. I think little fun things like that are good for consumers, people to reward their curiosity. So this one, outputs at 4K, slightly like more megahertz in the processing, numbers, blah, blah, blah. I don't even have a 4K TV, so for me it's irrelevant. I don't even know if any games right now render in 4K.
I think some do, but yeah, it's one of those things where I think they're trying to push the tech too early. Like HD TVs took a long time for people to adopt.
Sure.
A long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's some people who probably want them, but like there's not like DirecTV, for example. I remember when I started working for them, we had an HD package,
mm-hmm.
and it was like 10 channels, and it was $20 a month for 10 channels in HD.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of people, like people who were like home theater buffs, would have it because they would have a sweet HD TV and wanted to watch their nature documentaries and their Rolling Stones concerts in 1080.
Right.
The DirecTV 4K channel package right now is 2 channels. Like I remember when DirecTV finally added like 100 channels to HD, that's when a lot of people were like, okay, now I'm going to get an HD TV. Now that I can watch like shows that I want to watch and not just force myself to watch shows because they're in HD, like now I'm going to upgrade. And so I don't think that people are going to make the jump to 4K until there's enough content available for them.
I feel that's probably the case because I'm in no hurry. Like I'm very early to jump onto a lot of things as soon as 1080p hit, and I could upgrade my original 360 to the HDMI port system, and I could plug it in HDMI and really like shine the light. I did that, and currently I don't think I care about 4K at all just yet. Okay, here's the problem. So we have all these Blu-ray movies that are just in standard 1080 idiot vision.
Yeah.
But are they going to go in and rescan all the film for Police Academy again to make 4K versions of all the Police Academy movies?
And then you're going to have to buy each of them for $30 a piece because they're in 4K now.
They're in 4K. Yeah, there's more K to buy.
Yeah.
So I'm not in a hurry because right now I like high resolution. I like great graphics. I'm more impressed with, and I'm sure if I saw like a really beautiful crisp 4K resolution in front of me, I'd be like, oh, well, actually my monitor is 4K. But to me, since I'm using it just for like computer nonsense, it just means everything's just really small. So, it's neat, but like I don't care or notice in video games yet because I don't know. Well, number one, I don't use it a lot for that, but it's I don't know. It just hasn't gripped me just yet. I'm still to the point where if you're going to have more processing power, I'd rather just have way more special effects and shadows and lighting and nonsense going on screen than trying to push a higher resolution just yet, as I don't feel it's so necessary, Yeah. But I do want to see Hightower's pores, but I want to see like the little bits of like oil that are like coming out of them. That's if we're gonna go 4K, that's the result that I want.
I need to be able to see my own reflection in the shine on Bull from Night Court's head.
Yeah, it's so good. It actually like uses like a built-in TV camera, so it can put you in the courtroom.
Yeah, because otherwise, that's I'm gonna be able to know that I'm watching Night Court and not actually there.
So whenever I was younger and I would watch anything having to do with, like any Perfect Strangers or Night Court or any one of these shows, and if they would even for a moment mention the word Nintendo, and they did because Nintendo is popular, I used to flip out. So like there's an episode of Roseanne where I think DJ was supposed to get like a Super Nintendo and Dan was hiding it in the garage, and I don't even remember the rest of the episode, but you could hear like Mario World music playing and you could see it right there, and it's gray and purple glory.
Do you think that was a marketing gimmick where Nintendo was like, we need to get visibility, we need to put this on Roseanne?
Yeah, we have to market to the middle class, and Roseanne is the perfect show for that. I'd probably, yeah.
See, I think people do that when they hear like their hometown on a TV show. I don't know about like Nintendo, unless you live in Nintendo.
I used to live in Nintendo.
That's
for all intents and purposes. I live in a Nintendo.
Yeah. They should make a Nintendo bed that you can like climb into the front loader and close it. Yeah, just go to sleep.
Close the lid and then someone presses the power button and it has like a heating blanket on the inside. Nice. I do that. Now there was something else that had come up that I should always like text these things to myself and like use them to try to remember what's coming up next. And I can't ever do that because I always think that I'm going to remember and I inevitably never ever do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there is some exciting news. I actually completely forgot about this because it was sprung on me very quickly. But I'm going to be going to the Game Expo in Phoenix this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, my buddy Joel, who works with Media Glitch,
yeah.
They focus on just video games. They used to do a whole kind of like media show with movies and comics and the whole package, and now they're just focusing on games. He ended up inviting me as press, and so we're going to drive out there tomorrow afternoon, stay with some folks, and he's actually friends with one of the guys who like runs it apparently. So hopefully we can get like some cool nonsense going on, but we're hoping to meet people like Johnny Millennium, and that's the only one that I know of because I actually don't watch that much YouTube. But you know, like some folks, maybe buy some cool stuff and just see, you know, neat setups or exclusive items or handcrafted, whatever it is. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I've never actually been to a gaming exposition ever before. First one, and I'm looking forward to it. I think he said there might even be a chance for us to be on a panel, but I don't know what I would say.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know like what the subject is. Like, if it's, you know, people who own video game stores or people who just like video games or video games in the media. I don't know. I would be in a panel, but I'd rather have a panel like this, like the one that we did where nobody showed up to it.
Yeah.
Do we put that on like Ustream or something?
I don't remember. I think we just like saved it locally to your laptop and then it's just there.
Oh yeah, maybe we would do that. I'll have to look for that. That's silly. Okay. I'll take a peek. Because that'd be fun to watch. That was a good time.
Thor Ackerland is going to be there.
Yo, Thor, that's right. Yeah, maybe I'll get him to sign a copy of my World Nintendo Champion cartridge. Well, never mind, I guess. A copy of Tetris.
Yeah, bring Rad Racer, Mario 3, and Tetris.
Okay. Well, he'll like that. Now, we're friends on Facebook. He's actually a pretty nice dude. I've been talking with Patrick Scott Patterson. PSP, he calls himself. Interesting fellow. And he's super nice. What he's doing right now is he's working on this project called Archive Alley. And it's basically just doing whatever he can to document as many things physical in the gaming world. We had a discussion the other day because, you know, Nintendo Power went into digital archives. And he said, you know, that's cool, but like it's just not the same experience. Archiving things digitally is a convenient matter, but it's still, there's nothing compared to like having still like a library, you know? And he does it with all kinds of stuff. And I found countless boxes of junk in my garage I'm going to be sending over to him because I don't want to have to deal with keeping any of it there anymore. Because I have so much, like it's old magazines from like the 80s and 90s, mostly like computer and technology kind of stuff. But stuff that I want to like go to a good home because I want to preserve it. I think it's really neat that he's so hell-bent on making sure that we have an actual physical preservation of these things. Because once, you know, yeah, like you've discussed, once something or physical dies, like that's the only copy.
Yep.
Or, well, there's one less copy ultimately out there. You know, they're not making more Nintendo Powers. Nobody's reprinting any of these things. You know, one less is straight up one less. You know, they go extinct. They can't mate. That's why we need to save magazines over endangered animals. Yeah,
because animals will make more animals.
Yeah, an animal has sex with a girl animal, and then, well, you know, depending on what. There's a lot of okay.
It's complicated.
We're gonna get into this, all right? I saw Jurassic Park. The dinosaurs turned from female to male.
Yep.
Slipped in the peepees and made it when they weren't supposed to. You know, because some like South African tree frog spontaneously changes sex in a single-sex environment. You know, Dr. Grant holds up an egg, looks like a canoe, and explains it to the kids, and they're kind of like, okay, whatever, and then they run off and start banging on the computer. Lex calls herself a hacker.
Yeah.
And Joseph Mozzella goes, yeah, computer nerd. Siblings.
Yep.
That's messed up, man. Anyway.
He doesn't believe in her dreams.
No, he doesn't. Oh, man, look at this. Look at this.
Perfect timing.
This is perfect timing. All right, Michael. Other Michael. Supposedly. Graham. Hello.
Nope.
All right. How are you?
It's like watching a silent movie. I want to see like a little title card pop up. This is like, President's shucks.
Yeah. Are you, Michael? Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Hey.
Hey, you can hear me now?
Yes.
I can hear you now.
Every time without fail, you guys cannot hear me when I come in.
It's my favorite part of the show.
Are you just streaming from like the store's arcade computer?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Streaming from an arcade machine. This is the future, my friend.
I want there to be an arcade cabinet that you can put like 75 cents into, and then you can stream. You can just talk to you can talk live to the internet for 10 minutes.
We have to bring back the concept of like phone calls and maybe do a collect call and somebody who's on the opposite end of the stream has to pay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good business model.
Make it a three-way call in.
Yeah, exactly.
The party line.
Yeah, caller, you're on the air. Oh, that's true. Or we could just invite hot babes to chat with you. All right. We're discussing, well,
Dinosaurs
and how they have sex to make other. So you know how dinosaurs' penises work, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They're
Everyone knows that. Universal knowledge.
All right. Tab A, slot A. Bing. Okay? The sperm comes out, fertilizes the egg gets laid, and then a baby dinosaur shows up and then changes sexes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Anyway,
that's what Jeff Goldblum said.
That is what Jeff Goldblum said. That's the chaos theory, is dinosaur ejaculate.
Yeah, water runs down your arm and dinosaurs change sex.
Correct.
As far as I understand it.
Yeah, no, that's correct. Yeah, very good.
Science.
See? Yeah, that's the part about the show that's my favorite, is understanding how things tick, you know?
Just the world itself, how it works.
Right. Exactly. That's why it's important to watch the Cyber Zone, because otherwise science is lost. You know, you can archive all the information you want, but if you're archiving the wrong information,
yeah,
do you any good?
If you know who won Rock and Jock baseball, let me know, because I didn't record it.
I didn't record it. Yeah, I didn't archive it.
Not archived.
Yeah. How are you, Michael?
Pretty good.
Good. I forget that both of you guys are named Michael, so I have to do.
Yeah, I was about to be like, well, I'm still the same.
Still pretty good, yeah,
Still
exactly.
doing good.
That's
solid.
Graham and Radon, yeah. Okay, good. But no, archiving and keeping track of stuff, I think, is really cool. And there's so much fun physical media out there. I think that's a blast to go through, and nothing beats like the analog feel of a magazine, and like what it's like to flip through and go through pages and check out secrets and tips, even if it's stuff that's at this point is completely archaic. It's cool to look at, for me, previews of stuff that has yet to come out that we've experienced at this point, 25 years ago, because at one time when that was the new hotness, nobody knew what to expect. I looked forward every single day when it was sort of like the end of the month to coming home and finding out when my Nintendo Power would be in the mailbox, and I could read it, I could eat it up, I could sit there and I could, go through every single page and, skip the sports section. Then I could check out the tricks, the counselor's corner. I could see what stuff was coming out soon. I could learn how to beat whatever in Boyne's Blob. I don't know. And it's weird to think of like these things as being, they are relevant. A lot of companies have even tried to do Kickstarters for physical media, and they're fun, but it's such a limited audience at this point.
It's a total waste of time and resources.
Unfortunately, it is. And I mean, the problem is, you and I had actually looked into doing this, and it's something that I still theoretically want to do, but I think the biggest problem is that it's literally not profitable or necessary. So even as a labor of love, it's something that I would love to even pursue theoretically, but will the cost going in be worth the amount of effort and the lack of return? If I had more expendable funds, I think it would just be the easiest thing ever, but it is difficult to weigh out.
Yeah.
Making it worthwhile. So, there you have it.
All right, well, that's the Cyber Zone.
That's the Cyber Zone. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody.
So I'm going to tell you about something.
Okay.
This is weird because I forgot about this, but I was I bought Lemmings 2.
The Tribes.
The Tribes, 20 years ago. I think I got it for Christmas, actually. It's like the Lemmings games. And I got it for Christmas, and it was, Lemmings with 50 more abilities, which is kind of cool. But it also came with this book, which is a storybook. Okay?
Okay.
And on the back, there's actually a quote. It says, "Undoubtedly the best story written about the 12 tribes of Lemming Island ever written." Bill Clinton. Yeah, it says that. What's this Lemmings then, love? And that's Mrs. B. Porridge, the Cygnosis cleaner. Laugh, I nearly did. John, miserable Git McLeod.
Oh, the English.
I know.
They say things like miserable git.
So
And
actually,
aluminium.
I forgot about this, but okay. Jimmy entered Shadow World with a sense of mounting fear. Heavy clouds billowed in the sky and sheets of drizzle hung in the air. Lightning flickered in the distance and crashed into the ground. Jimmy trudged onwards. Eventually, he spied a dark figure standing before him in the middle of the road. Jimmy faltered. "Hello?" he said in a frail and hollow voice. The man stood silently. "Hello?" he said again. "My name's..." He hesitated. He felt a sudden compulsion to keep his identity to himself. "Your name is James T. McLemming," stated the shadowy figure in a hard, no-nonsense voice. So, I don't know if you remember that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, my friend Dan wrote Lemmings fan fiction.
I mean, I don't know that I recall the Lemmings one in particular, but yes, I
I was unaware of this fact.
If I go to the Wayback Machine, all right, I'm going to ruin everybody's evening right now.
Don't do this. Don't be this guy.
You can enjoy this. So, it's interesting because... find this thing. It's really good. Okay? That's all you gotta know. And it's written like that because, for me, reading fan fiction, like, is essentially what this is. Maybe it's official fan fiction, but, you know, for all intents and purposes, because it's not presented in the form, like the main media, I consider it fan fiction.
you
Like,
consider all media to be fan fiction?
All media, in a sense, kind of. You know? Like, the new Ninja Turtles movie is just somebody else's fan fiction of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, basically.
Except for just with a higher budget. Okay, I'm gonna find this. I'm so sorry, but
Also, on a completely unrelated note, I'm scrolling through Google images of DJ Qualls right now, and randomly in the middle of it is just one Tobey Maguire, and I have no idea why he's just there.
He's sneaking himself into other sort of boy-faced actor image searches, so that when someone in the studio is like, we want an adult that looks like a boy, and then they're like, oh, what about DJ Qualls? And then, oh, okay, wait a minute, Tobey Maguire, that's who we want.
The way better option. I like the idea of casting by doing Google image search.
Well, yeah, you don't have to send them photographs anymore. You just an 8x10 glossy is the way of the past.
It's fair.
okay. So I'm still looking. I'm excited for this. I know you're not, but I promise you should be, because it's going to be good. I don't lie. I mostly just want you to. Oh wait, no, it wasn't breadfiretrick.com. It was It was an old. Oh damn it! I gotta find this. It was an old like
John's going down the rabbit hole.
or something. Yeah, I know it's dangerous, but that's because I want you to hear Dan's fan fiction on Lemmings. It's really dirty.
You should just message Dan, bring him into the conversation.
Members.tripod.com.
I wonder if I can find my old GeoCities page.
All right. I'm just really impressed that these are all here too, and that I actually remember the URL. Okay. Do you want me to read this Lemmings thing to you?
Do we have a choice? I don't feel like we have a choice.
No, you do not.
I mean, at this point, you've built it up so much that if we stopped you, the internet would be mad at us.
That's
yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So I just gotta bring up my chat window again. And if anybody's watching this, I'm so sorry. But so the explanation is one day I was talking to my friend Dan. He was an old employee of mine, and I just said, "Hey Dan, write me a Mario Kart fan fiction." Or no, it was Low G-Man. And so he did. And here's his fan fiction. Low G-Man was lonely. He had not felt the sweet caress of gravity in months. He had had enough. He slowly unzipped his spacesuit and began felling his body, because I left all the typos intact. And that was his first fan fiction. And so I laughed, and Dan said, "Hey, I'm pretty good at this." So we decided, okay, let's go further. So I was like, "Hey, can you do Mario Kart? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And some actually ended up getting really involved. Like the Mega Man one is like 3 pages long. And then he wrote a Tail Concerto one, I think, sort of for himself. He wrote one that was written on a TI-85 calculator, and he transcribed it exactly. No, it's good. All right. So, I'm sorry, everybody. So Lemmings, here's what we're going to do real quick. We're going to do Lemmings. It's not very long, but like as I read that story, it made me think of this is kind of the same thing. This is kind of, this is what happens. Okay. Oh, perfect. Lemmings fanfic. Didn't realize they had enough of a backstory to even go on. Well, this is the beauty of fanfiction is you get to create your own lore for what's already established. Larry Lemming was the only lemming capable of free thought. While the other lemmings were off walking to their dooms, he was writing poetry and cooking exquisite meals. He loved cooking, especially long, hard vegetables like zucchini and carrots. One day, he heard a knock at his door. This startled Larry, for he had never had a visitor before. He was so excited he jumped up and answered the door without even looking through the peephole to see who it was. Standing before him, he saw another lemming. "Oh, great," he said out loud. "There's a pathway through my house. I'll have to relocate." "Wait," said the other lemming. "I could smell the food, and it smelled so very good, and I get awfully lonely, what with being a lemming with free thought and all." "You can think for yourself? I thought I was the only one. Come in, come in. I always make enough zucchini for casserole for 2, even though I end up throwing half of it away," said Larry. "Zucchini? My favorite." Larry introduced himself to Lance and began setting the table. He set up his special candles, and they enjoyed a candlelit dinner. They talked about everything. Lance Lemming, it turns out, also wrote poetry. "Would you like to hear one?" Lance asked humbly. Of course," replied Larry. "Okay, I'm a little embarrassed. I just wrote this one, but here it goes. It's called Dinner by Candlelight. The shadows shimmer on the wall. The flames dance in unison. The most beautiful man I have ever seen sits across from me." Larry began to blush. "It was too stupid to recite that. I'm sorry. I have to go," said Lance. He got up and tried to leave, but Larry stopped him. "Wait," he said. "That was the most lovely poem I've ever heard." "Really?" asked Lance. "Really," said Larry. "I had been thinking of one thing since I first laid my eyes on you," said Larry. "Oh yeah?" Lance said with a smirk. "What's that?" Larry unbuttoned Lance's pants and began fondling Lance's cock. As soon as it was hard, he took it into his mouth. "Oh yes," cried Lance. I can't hold it any longer. Oh. I don't know how to... He shrieked as he filled Larry's mouth with his hot cum. "Ah, I've been waiting for that for too long," said Lance. "I kind of lied when I said I had one thing on my mind. I actually had several. Come on, let's head back to my room and I'll show you the rest." The end. And they're all...
Dan.
Starcraft, which is about Jim Raynor and a Zergling. There's
Does Dan know that you share these with the world?
Oh yeah. Well, he let me publish them all on the website like 8 years ago. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, that one's actually 2 sentences. "Damn it, Whitey! Oh yeah! Barrett was screaming as he plunged his huge black cock into Cloud's ass. "Here he goes again," Cloud thought to himself. The end.
The end.
Yep. Yeah, Bubble Bobble is good too. He said Bubble Bobble is really hard to write. And Bubble Bobble is actually kind of difficult to read too. I'm going to make this the last one, okay? So otherwise I will do this all night. I will actually have like a reading session. Bub and Bob had been on their mystical journey for about 15 hours. They had cleared screen after screen of evil whales and Tinker Toy-looking motherfuckers. "I'm sick of this shit, Bub," Bob said. "Me too, let's just fuck instead, Bob," Bub said. "Good idea, Bub," Bob said. Bob went to Bub and put his dick in his mouth. Bub began to blow bubbles all over Bob's cock. Bob shot a hot load into Bub's mouth. The end.
That's like a tongue twister.
It kind of is, yeah. That was actually difficult for me. Okay, that's the end. We're not reading those over again. But I have them all archived right here. Thank you. See? This is it. This is the importance.
I may have discovered the most ambitious archaeological project of the 21st century.
What'd you find?
You can download the entirety of GeoCities as a 625 gigabyte torrent.
Oh. And just see everybody's websites?
Yes.
Okay. Why not?
It sounds really like I'm sure that it would just be as productive as like going outside and digging for dinosaur bones. You're just gonna find the dumbest crap over and over and over again. But
it's kind of fun to think of that stuff being written all those years ago.
yeah,
People were genuinely doing, because I was doing stupid stuff. I think people were probably doing things genuinely more productive than I. Like actual fan sites, or just Godzilla ate my balls.
we've talked about this before, and to this day I still don't understand.
I don't think I do either. It's interesting to think that like that was a meme. I mean, that was like memes have been around for a long time, but to think that that was one of the more prominent internet memes at any point in time is weird.
Yeah. I found the homepage. I'm going through like some of them right now. This one's just called the homepage.
The homepage. What's it about?
Let's see. Okay, so we've got. This is what I love about GeoCities, because I remember like designing my GeoCities site, and there was no aim. No one thought like I should make my site about this one thing. It was just like I'm going to archive all the things I care about, everything about them in this one amateur-made website.
Yeah, it was generally like, I learned how to use HTML at school for a week, so let me just see sparkly backgrounds or embedded MIDIs, or that was mine. I mean, mine was nonsense.
Yeah, so the homepage covers Space Above and Beyond Internet War League, Faces, Funny Names, Christmas, Jokes. There's a links page, a search engine page, a quotes page, music pages, space pages, miscellaneous pages, and a quirk page.
Okay, so literally your hobbies all in just one spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy is into like music and Star Trek and the military and like programming, I think.
Okay. I remember we had found
zany ways to phone in a pizza order.
Is it like different like conversations you could like theoretically have?
There are 51 different ways to order a pizza.
What's
in
one
a
of the
zany
ways?
way over the phone. You can pick a number, 1 through 51.
16.
Start your order with "I'd like." A little later, slap yourself and say, "No, I don't."
Do you have to do this in person?
No, it's on the phone. You have to slap
Zany.
yourself loud enough.
I'm not sold on that one.
You want to try a different one?
That's not zany enough for me. Okay, 27.
27 is ask if they have any idea what is at stake with this pizza.
That's a little better. I'm still not like really.
I'm not feeling the Zane.
Yeah,
Like Billy Zane?
Billy Zane. I felt Billy Zane. That dude is like conditioned.
Billy Zane would not approve these pizza antics.
No, he's not into this. He's beautiful. That's a beautiful man.
He's got a beard now. It's a whole thing.
Oh, is it like a Randy Quaid beard?
He's like bald and has a beard.
Randy Quaid or Billy Zane?
Billy Zane.
Okay. Well, he's perpetually bald. I don't like thinking of him with hair almost ever. I don't like Billy Zane with hair. I think he's a handsome bald guy.
Didn't he have hair in Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
And The Phantom?
Yeah, I just imagine him bald though. I have to rewrite my understanding of his characters.
You just alter your perception of the world.
Exactly, yeah. Reprogram my brain to anticipate him with no hair.
Have we discussed Tammy and the T-Rex before on the podcast?
You and I have talked about it. I know
Okay.
that much.
It's Tammy and the T-Rex.
What?
What's Tammy and the T-Rex?
So it's a movie, and I'm going to read you the description here.
Okay.
An evil scientist implants the brain of Michael, a murdered high school student, into a Tyrannosaurus. He escapes, wreaks vengeance on his high school tormentors, and is reunited with his sweetheart Tammy.
Is it like a comedy?
Guess kinda. I kinda stumbled upon this through all my DJ Qualls searches, and then I ended up here.
Is DJ Qualls in that movie?
Nothing to do with it. I don't know how it linked me over to this. But just
All right.
things happened. But Paul Walker does the voice of Michael, which I did not know. And
That's
Tammy
right.
is Denise Richards. Yeah. So Paul Walker just pretends to be a T-Rex for a movie.
That's pretty cool.
And no one else in this movie you have ever heard of.
That might not be true. I'm pretty
Theo
good.
Forsett,
Leo?
Ellen Dubbin.
I might have to see some of these pictures, but I don't know, man.
I stumbled across it again and derailed your conversation, but it was
No, that's
really
fine.
funny.
Just the natural flow of things. What about not Carnosaur? Carnosaur is good because you get to watch Clint Howard get his head eaten off while he's eating chicken wings.
I feel like that's every movie Clint Howard's in.
That's true. I'm trying to think of other movies that he's in. That's the only thing.
He's in House of the Dead.
Does he get eaten by a dinosaur?
No, he becomes a zombie and then whistles for a while. It's really weird.
He's
I
in
think-
Apollo
yeah.
13, I think, right?
He does get his head eaten in Apollo 13.
Yeah. While
Also,
eating chicken.
also in Waterboy.
Also, oh right, that's weird. Okay. What's the movie with the Theodore Rex with Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I had a not the movie but the box. Yeah, like a big plastic like clamshell one for a long time. I don't know what happened to it.
It
But
found the movie. They reunited.
then, yeah, it got bought.
Hooray.
So I can't. I like dinosaurs,
Fair.
and I like most dinosaur things. But I also don't like 3/4 of the Jurassic movies. I like the first one. Two is fine to a point.
I enjoy the second one.
Okay, it's not a bad movie, but like towards the end, like it's sort of like they just had it.
It's the end of the second one is pretty weak,
yeah,
but like it's got solid comedy beats going through most of it. It's got good suspense
yeah, there's
and gymnastics for whatever reason. I don't know why that's there,
yeah.
but still, it's a solid little movie up until like the last 20-30 minutes.
Okay. What about 3 was somewhat ridiculous.
Left 0 impressions in my brain.
There's the raptor whistle.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember about that. And someone getting picked up by their backpack by a T-Rex
The most important part is that a dinosaur sneaks up on people.
all the time.
That's
The dinosaur ate the cell phone
Oh, that's right.
and then sneaks up on them, and the only reason they find the dinosaur is because the phone rings while it's inside the dinosaur.
Whereas the T-Rex walks and shakes the world. There's other things like,
Yeah.
fuck, cell phone gave me away again.
Ethan Wellman actually says, according to Wikipedia, Theodore Rex became the most expensive direct-to-video film ever made at the time of its release.
I didn't know what direct-to-video. I thought they had a theatrical release.
And saw Whoopi Goldberg being nominated for Worst Actress at the 1996 Golden Raspberry Awards. That's too bad. I like Whoopi.
She's never had eyebrows.
Never?
I'm looking her up now.
Okay. Her and Guile, man. Those are the only two that I know of that are eyebrowless. Perpetually.
She's going to be on the new Tick series.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Playing herself.
Okay, that's fair. I forgot that she played April's boss in the new Turtles movie.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, internet.
And then Jurassic World happened, and I can't remember. Graham, did you like Jurassic World?
I never had any interest in seeing it.
So you still haven't seen it?
Nope.
Because it's one of those things where I want to say we should watch it because I want to see how much you dislike it, but that would mean I have to watch it, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. Like, I have a copy of it.
Weird.
I don't want to watch it.
How did that happen?
I don't even know. I don't know if Sam had it or what the hell happened, but it's in my house.
What the hell happened? How did this happen?
It's one of those things where we even discussed watching it, and then I was like, let's just watch Terminator Genesis instead, because that's a much better movie.
Much better. Yeah, honestly, actually, I liked it a lot more.
So if you Google Whoopi Goldberg eyebrows and image search that, it just shows you a bunch of other celebrities that have had their eyebrows like photoshopped out, and I'm going down a rabbit hole.
That's good. Yeah, you can get addicted to checking out that kind of stuff. Let's see, Chris Pratt did a great job in Jurassic World. From Cuba. Cuba's actually watching. That's pretty cool. Which is hard because I felt personally that I couldn't get into Chris Pratt's character. I felt he was not interesting to me. I love Chris Pratt, and I was looking very much forward to him. But at the end, I just didn't think much. I feel the movie tried to do a lot at once, and it didn't do any of it to a degree that interested me. It didn't do anything ever. There was no characters. There was no CG. There was no screen.
Yep.
No sound effects. There was no music.
It's just a sensory deprivation tank. You buy a ticket for Jurassic World, and they put you in.
Yeah, you're gonna watch Jurassic World, and they just put me in underwater for 2 hours. Had good CG. For some reason, it just didn't grab me. I don't know why. Like nothing in that movie interested me. I was so excited. I was so looking forward to it, and I'm gonna get hung up, of course. But all I could think of was how they talk about like the kids who are like, "Mom and Dad are getting a divorce." It's like, "Shut up, no, they're not," and like they never, ever, ever, ever talk about it again.
Yeah.
Like the parents are like, "Oh my God, we love our kids," and okay, are you getting a divorce? I heard you were earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a flimsy. I feel like the only reason the divorce is there is so that the kids can go to Jurassic World by themselves, which is a really flimsy way of pulling that off.
Yeah, like when my parents were getting a divorce, you know what I did? I went to my own room in the house that I already lived in, and I played my Nintendo.
Yep.
I didn't go to the dinosaur park.
Yep.
And almost die.
Well, that's part of the problem too, is that Jurassic World tries to be Jurassic Park 1 and fails every step of the way.
I assume that they stay together because they almost got killed. Maybe. I don't know. They don't tell you that.
So they're doing it for the kids. Like that's the reward that the kids have, is that since they survived the dinosaur attack, their parents are going to just be joyless and loveless together forever.
Well, here's the thing. So if the kids survive, so the parents stay together. But if one of the kids dies, then they get a divorce.
Oh, what if both of the kids die?
Then they get a super divorce.
Ooh, those are bad.
Yeah, those are really, really bad. They take place in outer space.
Yep. They're overseen by Super Hitler.
Super Hitler, yeah. Well, the problem is like one of the parents gets randomly jettisoned, like in one direction. It might be back towards Earth, but like it also just might be like towards a set of stars that nobody's ever heard of. So it's high risk. Anyway, Super Divorce 64. You know, there's a lot of games that they could have made. I always talked about Russian Roulette 64, and I wish it was a game where you pass the controller around to your friends in a circle. But like the 64 pack is hooked up through like the transfer pack, which is hooked to a car battery.
I just made a gun that you can clip into the back of the controller. You pull the Z trigger.
So it's like a gun. Hold on. So I mean, this is a PlayStation controller, but like it'd be you're holding the controller, and then so you pull the trigger, but there's a forward-facing gun. Is that what we're thinking?
I don't think it'd have to be forward-facing, right? Because here we go. So you can just hold the controller like this, and there's you can put your thumb on the Z button like so.
That's not as natural.
Yeah, but that's what makes it more tense, is your thumb could slip. It's not even your turn.
That's fair. Okay.
I just accidentally pushed it right now, like trying to turn it in my hand. So I'm like, oh, it's your turn. Just shoot your friend in the face.
Well, yeah, exactly. But then, okay, if you're playing Russian roulette and you accidentally shoot somebody else, like, do you lose? I mean, they lose, but
they lose. Yeah, that's.
So I think you both lose. I think it's just a game over.
So you get sent home, or what?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
you were suspended from the professional Russian roulette league for 12 games.
Okay. Because I was always wondering, like, if you accidentally kill somebody during Russian roulette, like, what are the consequences? I guess they just suspend you.
Well, it depends. What if it was like the next guy in line anyways? So like he was gonna get that bullet.
That's fair. That's fair. But like, is it fair of you to take his life, or does he have to take his own life if it's Russian roulette?
I guess that is the point, is like the suspense.
Because otherwise, you could have like some sort of cool contraption, where you have like a gun, super gun, like in the middle of the room, and it has like 8 different chambers, and like inside somehow is like a bullet spinning, and then like somebody steps on like a foot pedal, and the bullet blasts out through one of the chambers and shoots you. I guess that way you're guaranteed to kill somebody. So it's not as Russian roulette-y. Or it's faster Russian roulette. It's just a much more sped up.
Do you have to like climb up through like the collegiate, like the NCAA Russian roulette, like youth Russian roulette?
There's like college level and
Yeah.
yeah, varsity Russian roulette for kids who are like just getting interested when they're in high school.
Yep.
I think so.
You gotta get those extracurricular. What if you're a letterman? What if you had a Letterman jacket?
If you have a letter jacket for Russian roulette.
Yeah.
I want to know about sponsorships.
Probably funeral homes.
That's true. Yeah, that makes sense. I've never played Russian roulette.
Have you played anything Russian?
Tetris.
Have you played Russian roulette Tetris?
Like, if you get a Tetris, you just might die?
Well, it's like there's 7 tetrominos and a bullet.
A bullet might fall from the bottom of the screen, or like from the top?
No, it just shoot. You get someone like a KGB guy shoots you.
Like you're just playing in a room. Okay, so you're just playing like Tetris on your Game Boy in like just like some sort of like Soviet hotel, and there's just a man sitting there and something like. Okay, so I know
There's an on-screen prompt that notifies the Russian man to shoot you.
Okay, but his bullet has one bullet of 6 chambers or whatever. So he might still pull the trigger while you're playing Tetris, and nothing would happen potentially.
Yeah, and if you can beat the game before he has to shoot you 6 times, then you're guaranteed to win. What? No, you have to beat it.
Like regular, just like infinite Tetris?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I guess you're setting a high score at that point.
That's how the Kremlin operates.
And on your tombstone, do they give you like the score that you had when you got shot?
They fire up a rocket into space that is a size relative to your score.
They put like X amount of gunpowder, like 1 gram of gunpowder for each point?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not bad. That'd be a good way to be memorialized. Russian roulette is actually, I think people don't give it as much credit as they could.
It's a well-designed game.
It very much is. Yeah, I mean, you know what you're getting into, and if you lose, it's your fault.
There are consequences to poor strategy.
Yeah.
Poor strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
You picked the wrong chair, dude.
Yeah.
Thought that through.
Right. Russian roulette tactics for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Grid-based Russian roulette. Okay. Super War 64 would be good too. Yeah, there's a lot of good ideas. Did we ever talk about Bio Tetris?
I think so.
The Tetris game that reads your pulse?
That exists.
Mm-hmm. It does. Actually, I was thinking about ordering one. I found a copy online a couple months ago, I think, for like $80, and I was thinking about grabbing it. But for anybody who doesn't know, it's a copy of Tetris for the 64 in Japan that reads your pulse, and it has 2 different modes where, one, if your pulse gets higher and higher, the game actually slows down to accommodate so you can concentrate and actually do better. Or there's another mode, like high pressure mode or whatever, where if you are playing and your pulse raises, the game actually gets faster, so you have to try to keep yourself calm in order to prevent the game from like going nuts on you.
It just seems like you could get like really stoned and play the slowest game of Tetris.
Best game of Tetris of your life, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what if? Oh, did you ever see the movie Flatliners?
No.
Like,
I'm gonna come up with the tagline for this movie. Okay. Is it if your heart stops beating, you die?
Well, that makes sense. That's just a hospital slogan. Loveless. It's a movie where like these kids like get like this high from like stopping their pulses completely without dying. Like they flatline and like they go through like these crazy like I think hallucinations. It's been a long time, but
They're trying to find answers about the afterlife.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they keep giving themselves near-death experiences.
Okay. Okay. I thought it was just like some sort of like weird like drug thing, like a super asphyxiation, where you masturbate and die, and then it feels like super good.
Well, you know, the French call an orgasm the little death, the small death.
That's true.
Oh, the tagline is "Some lines shouldn't be crossed."
Oh.
Flat ones.
I don't know about this. Some movies have bad taglines.
Starring Kiefer Sutherland, Kevin Bacon, Julia Roberts, William Baldwin, Oliver Platt. It's a pretty solid lineup.
I hate that your tag is Whoopi Goldberg. Who's that a picture of?
The fucking kid from Twilight without eyebrows.
That makes a big difference on him because his eyebrows are big. So.
Eminem without eyebrows is pretty interesting as well. There was a few that I almost went with.
Elizabeth Taylor or like Audrey Hepburn would be interesting.
Just to talk to.
Just to talk to, yeah. They'd be actually interesting without eyebrows because they would have more to say.
Hey, girl, how you feeling today?
Eyebrows have like.
Hey, girl.
So you said Audrey Hepburn?
Yeah.
If she were here, if she were on the podcast, that would how you would start a conversation with her?
Yeah.
Do you think she even likes video games?
I think she would if it weren't for us.
That's true. So is it she doesn't like the personalities, or that we have tastes that are not in line with hers?
She is offended by what we do.
Talking to each other online?
Okay, so here's how it goes. Everyone was talking to her about video games, and she's like, all right, I'm going to look into this. And then she's like, oh, there's people online talking about video games. I can learn from the pros.
She probably came in right when the Lemming fanfic was being read, and she's like, that's...
Yeah, this is obscene. If this is what video games is all about, I want no part of it.
Yeah, she's prude. Poor Audrey, man. I feel bad for her.
Poor Audrey.
Yeah. That sucks what happened to her.
Yeah.
You can't just shrug it off.
I can shrug off most things, John.
I think you're way underselling his shrugging capabilities.
Okay. One normally cannot.
That's fair. I was trying to come up with a good Audrey Hepburn joke to go with my logo, but I couldn't think of anything.
An Audrey Hepburn impression.
I don't have one of those.
Try it. Just like say something that she would say.
No.
She did say that.
Yeah, I know she said that.
She said it at least once. She probably said it to like JFK.
Now I'm just reading Audrey Hepburn quotes.
No.
No.
Just straight up, right there. Fucking no.
Yep, that was her follow-up.
No.
Yeah.
Fucking no.
Yep. When asked if she wanted to watch the Cyber Zone ever again.
Mm-hmm. By Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah. Do you think Leonard Maltin would ever kiss her? His beard is scraggly. Okay, I know there's some scraggly beards out there. Like we always bring Randy Quaid to the equation.
You always bring Randy Quaid in.
I do, because like the guy is a monster. But now we've also discussed Billy Zane. Does Clint Howard have a big beard right now? I feel as if like that dude is.
I don't think Clint Howard is large enough to have a big beard. I think a large Clint Howard beard is a normal beard by comparison.
Ronnie suggests that Audrey Hepburn impersonation just requires you to sound both constipated and like you have Parkinson's.
Isn't that Katharine Hepburn?
I don't know.
Katharine Hepburn sounds like a grumpy Joan Rivers, I think.
What's a happy Joan Rivers sound like?
Just like pull up a porn.
Just a lot of squealing.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Michael Graham.
Oh.
What games have you played this week? I want to know.
I've been pretty much just playing Rogue Legacy on the Vita.
Are you liking it?
I fucking love that game, man. It's just a grindy fucking platformer. But it fucking gets me, man.
I'm just looking at this Clint Howard picture where he looks like Ultra Santa. He's a crazy looking fellow.
He really is.
Like,
Was Ron Howard lucky, or was he just really genetically unlucky? Like, I need to see what the rest of the Howard family looks like.
well, because Bryce Dallas Howard is a beautiful woman, and Ron Howard, now that he's gotten older, has definitely kind of like, you can see like those genes sort of popping up and going, that's okay. It's a little bit rough. But as younger kids, Clint Howard definitely got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That man probably got no dates.
No. No. But I like him. Again, actually, I don't even know much about the personality, and really, like, this is genuine. You can see there are people that get judged for not, being as attractive as people would like to expect that they would be, and be seen with beautiful women. I've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
And I mean, I also don't think like Clint Howard is like the most ultimate actor ever. So it's interesting to sort of see like what attributes that he might have that people enjoy, and that's the bottom line. Is we always like to make jokes and have fun, but I genuinely believe that it's good to acknowledge that wonderful people can get wonderful things, and it doesn't matter. Looks are irrelevant, and it's not to like make light of anything genuinely. We're just sort of having fun. But as an ugly dude, just how to end that.
Yeah, he looks like a young Whoopi Goldberg.
He does before she anti-bleached her skin.
Anti-bleach.
What is the anti-bleach? I guess a Sharpie?
Yeah.
It's just ink in general.
It's just dove into a squid den.
Squidden.
Squidden. Okay. Let's see. It's a Hepburn. All I know is Happy Joan Rivers sounds silent because she's dead. That's true. I can tell that she's happy then.
How can you tell that she's happy?
Yeah. If she's dead.
Because her spirit is haunting you in a positive, like, funny way, not in a vengeful way.
That makes sense. Oh, Clint Howard. Graham sent me an animated GIF.
Yeah, he sent me one too.
Okay, good. Ethan says, I just found out they have Final Fantasy Tactics War of
The Roses. Lions? War of the Lions, I think.
War of the Lions. It says R.
War of the Ryans.
War of the Ryans, like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Like Meg Ryan and Paul Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. We need to check that out. Also, we were a fan of the original for PS1. Thoughts? I would actually like to discuss this game because I think it is... I never beat it. I'm not good at it, and I think it is an absolutely outstanding title.
It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Have you beaten it?
Yeah, multiple times.
I haven't even beaten it once.
Well, you can take one of the times that I beat it and claim it as your own.
Thank you. That was mine.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, just making sure Lions. But yeah, that game. That was I don't think it was the first tactics game I ever played. I think I played Vagrant Story, or not Vagrant Story, Vandal Hearts.
Yeah.
It was the very first one I ever played, and I was crazy into RPGs at the time. But Tactics offered so much more, so infinitely much more, from the job classes and a complex story and beautiful graphics. But it just got too hard for me because I'm not of the strategy mindset. It's an outstanding game with great score. I'm not good at it.
Well, maybe you should hire someone to beat it for you.
I did, you.
Oh, that's right. Well, maybe you should change your story then.
Maybe.
You didn't really hire him, John. He just gave you a pity victory.
I pay right on.
It's true.
Yeah, but not for that.
You don't know that.
I know.
I would like to be better at strategy games.
Why?
Because I feel that I'm missing out. I mean, I guess I could like watch YouTube playthroughs and such, but I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of great things because I'm not good enough to play them.
What if you you talking about like turn-based or real-time?
Both, actually. I'm not really good at either. StarCraft actually at a point I was pretty good at. Not, crazy good, but I could compete with my friends decently well. but like when it comes to like trying to organize, I don't like micromanaging a lot of things.
Yeah.
That gets too overwhelming for me because I don't want to have to think about like a million different variables. Some people love that, not my style. Um, so for an RPG, like I like a couple different fields to worry about, and not managing multiple. I mean, tons of different units, recruiting tons of different dudes, and having to focus on who's this and what's what and what their level is, and like it's too much planning for me, and that's not
Let me pitch an idea to you.
okay.
You've played SimCity 2000, yes?
Horntips Gazzardo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reticulating splines.
Correct. Yes.
So you know how you go into your little budget meeting and you get like the 7 advisors, and the finance guy is like, oh, we need to raise taxes, and the security guy is like, we need more police coverage in the neighborhoods, and the transportation guy says, literally, and I quote, you will live to regret this.
Yes.
What if you could play a game like StarCraft, but instead of you playing the game, you would just have like 7 people managing different aspects of your army, and they would report to you like, hey, we could really use another barracks because we need to wrap up Marine production. Yay or nay?
I wouldn't know what to say. Complex for me. I would be like, I don't know what's good. What's the good answer? Like,
John cannot manage a country.
What?
John cannot run countries. We all know this.
No. That is not, on a much smaller level, I can do things, but like to that degree, it does not happen.
Okay, all right. Alternate idea. What if I just made a kart racing version of every strategy game ever made?
I would play those. I'm good at kart racing.
Okay, so
Yep.
like
I would not.
Liberty or Death Kart.
I'd play that.
Where you play as the founding fathers and you race around like Boston.
Oh, of course I would play that. Absolutely. Yeah. You could race. There's like the Liberty Bell race, and there's
the Boston Tea Party. That's
Boston
the
Tea
final
Party,
level.
the race on the Potomac.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Underground Railroad. Like, I mean, we want to like encompass like a wide span of like all the most important things. There's a lot we could do. I'd even love it if they had like special guest characters from like North American like folklore, like John Henry and Paul Bunyan, and you could unlock them.
Okay.
Because they're just part of our country's history in like a more fantastical.
I think they'd be overpowered.
Yeah, I mean, like if somebody chose Paul Bunyan, he's got Babe, and she's just like 50,000 times bigger than every other racer. So.
He's saying that Paul Bunyan could overthrow the young, prepubescent American government.
Paul Bunyan, when George Washington was like 13, Paul Bunyan would crush him.
Now I just want to make a TV show about like the founding fathers all in high school, and like the Englishmen, the redcoats, like the jocks that like don't give many respect.
I think of this as being like on the Life is Strange engine, where it's like a really complicated strategy of like finding yourself, finding the country, and yeah. I would play that. Also, I gotta grab something real quick because Jake suggested Contra, and I was actually thinking if we wanted to, I could throw on Contra just to sort of like play. I said I was gonna play something tonight, and it'd be fun to discuss some of the nonsense that we're doing. If you guys want to do that.
I think you should play something that starts with the letter Steven.
Steven has permeated a lot of aspects of life and conversations.
Yeah.
He's around, man. They have the PS3 on, but right now, Mega Man 9 and 10.
Are you making yourself laugh, Michael?
I might be. I was Googling Clint Howard gender bender just to see what popped up. And I can't find anything actually Clint Howard related. But I'm going to send you an image that I think you need to see.
I want to say no, but I know that I can't.
Yeah, so if I do the chat and Google Hangouts, will just the two of you see it?
Yeah.
I made you a thing.
Is that Miam Bialik?
I have no idea.
From Blossom?
Yeah.
What is she doing here?
Well, now she's from The Big Bang Theory.
Whoa. Guest starring Joey Lawrence.
Yeah. Melissa and Joey and Miam and Denzel.
Who was her friend Six played by?
7.
So, whoa. She had to pretend to be younger than she really was.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I have a joke for you.
A joke?
I have a joke.
I like those things.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
I don't know this one.
Because 7 is a registered 6 offender.
It's gross. That's a gross joke.
Hey, you're a bad
Jokes
person.
dot com.
Yeah, this is one of those devil jokes.
Well, I went to a devil website. I clicked the jokes section.
Right after the devil zany pizza calls or whatever.
How the devil orders pizza.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know what the devil would do. He would on the phone. See, like the thing of slapping yourself on the phone. That didn't get me.
What if it was a video phone?
Oh, then yeah, that's great.
That's real zany.
Yeah, then it convinces me. Whoa, hold on.
Contra.
Yeah, sorry, hold on a second. Jesus Christ. Hold on one moment.
That's like when your mom yells at you and you slam your door and turn on heavy
That's
music.
happening. Okay. My apologies. Ooh, this is running terribly. Let's see. This is running at like nothing per second.
So, Googling devil website is not as fun as I was hoping it would be.
Like, what is the devil like domain? Is it like .d?
So, if you just type in devil website into Google, you get the official Church of Satan, followed by the Joy of Satan, and then declarations, the devil's blood. I don't know, it's just a bunch.
Okay, so now I'm curious. Okay.
You want me to start at devilwebsite.com?
Well, I mean, I'm curious about that, but like, is a devil website, does he want bad things to happen or does he want good things to happen? And are they classified as like, if something bad happens, is it because it's bad for you and good for the devil? And if the devil, something good happens, it's because like, it's good for the person, or is it like good for just the devil?
What's good for the goose is good for the devil.
That's fair. So like a bath, eggs.
Yeah. Breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Devilwebsite.com does not exist, by the way.
This is an
Not a
opportunity
thing.
we need to jump on right this.
just buy that domain.
Yeah, this is there's very important things that could be happening right here. Okay, I'm actually gonna try lowering the resolution on this to make sure, because this is giving me all kinds of. I wanted to do some How it is 720? Let's see.
Do.
Those capsule devices are being silly and obnoxious, and they could be working and not bothering me. We'll see. So we can get this working. Da da da. Slack-ass crew commented, "What a fucking joke." I don't know what that was in reference to, but he might be right.
I think he was talking about my joke, the one that I told you guys.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless he was he knows the real devil websites, and he like what we're looking for is like kids play, you know,
Yeah.
compared to what he's used to.
Fucking rookie level devil website search.
Well, I think if you got to find a devil website, you got to go to a devil search engine.
That's true. Like badgoogle.com, evil
Yeah.
Google. Yeah, anti-Yahoo. Yeah.
Ask Lucifer.
Yeah.
I just Googled MLG devil, and I like all the responses that came back.
Dark Google, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
That's really dark.
Dark Google.
Darkgoogle.com.
Whew. Dark Google just comes back with a black version of Google. That's
I
not fair.
like black instead of like white background, or like BET Google.
Okay.
Sorry, just black background.
Oh, okay.
I want to see how this looks because I think this is going to be really choppy.
Yeah, it's super choppy.
Yeah, it's choppy as a
In
motherfucker.
fact, on my end, it's
Chop
awful, and I'm
tastic.
trying to figure out why.
I still haven't gotten to play that game. You and I were supposed to play that a while ago.
That's true.
Google.
You can capture HD, configure, HD settings, video input. All right, let's see. We're going to see if we can figure out why this is.
What do you have to Google
Sergio
in
says
order?
to boogle it.
Boogle?
Yeah, like boogle.
Google.
Google.
Boogle?
Boogle.
Yeah, what do you have to Google to get old arcade games to pop up? I don't remember what it was.
I don't know. Contra.
The Atari Breakout?
Yeah.
Hmm.
If you Google, yeah, if you image search Atari Breakout.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to turn that off for now until I can figure this out.
Well, now I'm just playing Breakout.
That's fine. This is a mess. I don't know. Maybe I won't even be able to get this to work tonight. I could move the Wii U in here because PS3 just has all kinds of problems getting this to work.
Why don't you bust out the Super Game Duck?
It walked off. I don't have it anymore.
Damn it!
It left. What
That was like you're playing Breakout.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
Whoa!
I know. Every single time he gets all excited.
I like that we never troubleshoot anything before we
Yeah.
start the podcast.
It's like, you know what I'm
Everything
gonna do today? I'm gonna try something I've never tried before, with no rehearsal.
Okay. Save that, and that's going to be all jacked up.
Bow. How's
How's that?
That looks good. That looks good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Did you play Shattered Soldier a lot, Radon?
Not a lot because it made me angry, and then I stopped playing it
That's fair.
because I'm not good at it.
I'm actually gonna. I just need to quit. Actually, reset. Reset game. Okay. I want to discuss this game and why this is my favorite. This is also for Kuba because I think he really wanted to see this. Boogle.
Boo.
So Sergio, we actually do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. MST.
3K.
So right now, I felt like Contra would be a really good thing to showcase. Now I'm afraid that resetting it's going to make it look worse and run worse.
No. I finally missed.
Yeah, it's running booty again.
Yep.
Way to go, John.
Oh,
Yeah. You should have just not quit. There's a lesson in there.
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
Quitters never stream Contra.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, dude.
Did you guys watch the guy get shot in the neck with a flaming arrow?
Yes.
Nope. Is that a thing?
On America's Got Talent.
Yep. Yeah, I know. It's
Flaming arrow. America's Got Talent. Ryan Stock is hit with a flaming arrow on live TV. Okay, let's do this.
his like fiance or girlfriend or something. Like it wasn't like a mortal injury or anything. He's fine.
No.
Nonetheless, it sucks
Yeah.
when you're like, I'm going to show everybody this cool trick, and then you just get shot in the neck.
Yep.
But it happens. It happens sometimes. You ever been shot, either of you?
Like ever?
Mhm.
No.
Hmm.
I've gotten shots. I've taken shots. I've called shots.
Oh, wow.
I got shot at once.
Really?
Yeah.
We
I used to live in a really shitty neighborhood.
Who shot at you?
I don't know. I ran away.
That's like a cat.
Yep.
If a cat senses danger, it doesn't assess it. It just leaves as fast as it can.
I'm a pretty large target. I made a decision.
That's fair. Okay.
Why is Mel B on America's Got Talent?
Mel B, is that the chick from Spice Girls?
Yeah, and she's neither American nor talented.
Whoa. What if she has a hidden talent she just never shows anybody?
Well, then what good is that?
People have to like coerce it out of her.
Ugh.
I know.
Beep.
Beep.
Ah.
Are you playing? Share your screen so I can see what's happening.
I'm watching Howie Mandel freak out.
Oh, I thought you were playing Pong still.
No. Just go to Atari Breakout, John.
No.
The video I was watching cut right as it hit him in the neck. What the fuck?
Okay, because that where it hits him in the neck, and then Howie Mandel's like, "Oh, okay, hey everybody, thanks for watching our YouTube channel." Like, they had like no time.
Yeah.
Like they gotta press the emergency "Don't kill me" button.
The emergency, some dude just got shot in the fucking neck button.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a very specific button.
Yeah. Every television network has one.
Yeah.
Especially Nickelodeon.
Nick.
John, I just found a mod of Streets of Rage 2 that lets you play as the Ninja Turtles.
Dang it! Like, is it they're the turtles from the arcade game? Like they just like swap sprites.
Yeah.
Can you play as all four of them?
Yep.
And they all have like their normal respective moves.
Looks like it.
Well, that's tempting.
What?
I'll see if I can't pull it. I'll let since you're trying to get a game going.
Mm-hmm.
A game groin.
Yeah.
Just find some like shitty Flash game to play.
I could do that. I could just grab the Wii U and bring something else in here and like just play something silly. A bunch of like those crazy emulators and stuff on there. I don't know, man.
Oh no.
What happened? You okay?
I found the devil.
Where? On Dark Google?
Panera Bread.
Panera? Like inside the bread?
Yeah, you know how like sometimes you see Jesus Christ on your toast?
Yeah, often.
Yeah, well, there's a devil inside of a Panera.
Is any Panera or like which one specifically?
Yeah, all of them. It's a devil company.
Oh,
Don't eat there.
Shoot, okay. That sucks. A devil company, that's one of the franchises he owns, is Panera?
Yep.
I
was unable to find a Clint Howard Flash game.
That's a shame.
I tried, guys.
Okay, I'm going to try this once more.
With feeling.
Less feeling?
Yeah, can you feel less, please?
I'm going to turn off tools as well, too, otherwise, Anyway, you guys should still be able to use yours. But, alright, so, Graham, I was trying to tell you about this game.
Well, yeah, we were supposed to play it, and then your PlayStation didn't work.
And my PlayStation 2. So this actually has a handful of my favorite features in any Contra game. I mean, it's standard fare, right? You have gun and you have jump. So in the upper left, you can actually switch between like a couple different sub-weapons, little like grenade bomb things and like your flamethrower.
Yeah.
And then you can also charge up each one of these shots.
Sorry, when you were doing the flamethrower, I always think it was him just going, because he was just running back and forth.
Just freaking out. And the two other most important things are that you hold down the L2 button, you can strafe. So you can always stand in one direction and or shoot in one direction and have complete range of movement. Or you can have the stationary button so you can actually shoot in any direction without moving at all. And if it weren't for these features, I don't think this game would be nearly as accessible ultimately with what this game's design requires. It's super, like Twitch shooter kind of thing, but it's 90% patterns. And if you can be patient and deal with all the nonsense that the game has pre-programmed in, it's not too bad. but it gets so beyond ridiculous. It's absolutely my favorite. What's kind of cool there, up at the top too, you can see the hit percentage. So what that means is as you go through each one of these stages, there's like a certain amount of stuff that you can like destroy, like certain like static enemies, or like these things in the environment. Oops, I just died because I wasn't paying attention. And if you can kill everything in the stage beyond like like these guys right here are just random spawns that just like show up, but any pre-placed enemy like something like this will make the percentage go up, and even bosses have like multiple hidden little like things inside them that will if you can just destroy the boss straight up, or you can destroy all its like appendages or extra little bits. So the normal boss is right there in the center, but if we can kill all these parts off to the side, then we can get more of the hit rate up. And the game wants you to get the maximum hit rate in each one of these things, because if you can get the full hit rate for each level, it'll ultimately allow you to unlock more levels to play.
Nice.
Also, every time you die, you lose a percentage. And if you continue, I think you lose like 5%, and you have to get like 100% on all the stages for this to work. Wow. Might have been a bad decision. We'll see. But yeah, this is like my favorite Contra game, straight up. It's got crazy rock music. It's got super ridiculous everything. You play as Bill or Lucia, who's like this cyborg robot chick. And I wish the music was going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to be really, really, really loud if I have it on, so I'm not going to bother with it for right now. Also, it'll be delayed, but we don't want to worry about that. It'll throw me off, especially. But here's one of my favorite parts is right after this. We're just going to show you the first level. I think I'm not going to play like the whole game. I just wanted to show you guys. This is my weekly game showcase. That's what we're going to do. And show you why you should buy this game. So hit it with a bomb. Okay. Sort of like a weird homage to like Contra 3, where a ship in the background destroys this. And then just rock music starts playing, and then boom, you're on a snowboard, and it's perfect. It's everything I've always wanted.
It is a really metal game.
It's the most metal game I might have ever played, yeah. It's super ridiculous. Super silly, super fun. Also pretty hard 2 players, because you have to really you have to know everything about the game. I guess kind of like the other Contras. If you're not like paying attention, you don't know exactly. Oh. So Kuba says, most favorite Nickelodeon show. I'm not sure if he's asking what ours are.
Yeah, he is, because he says Ah Real Monsters is his.
Okay, that's his?
Yeah.
Okay. Inspector Gadget?
I don't know if that counts.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, that was the thing. I don't know if that counts either. Well,
Cat Dog. No.
I like Hey Arnold a lot.
Are you gonna watch the new Hey Arnold movie, Michael?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's coming out next year. They're gonna finally show Arnold's parents. He's gonna find them. It's gonna be the series finale.
Is it just gonna end with him in a graveyard looking all sad?
Maybe.
Hey Arnold's kind of fucking deep like that. It might actually
really
end that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird subtext to that show.
Yeah.
And I regularly tell people that I just wanted to find out where the bus station was.
I don't know anything about Hey Arnold, unfortunately.
The first time I ever encountered Hey Arnold was in the official Simpsons magazine.
Weird.
Yeah, because I guess like Craig Bartlett knew Matt Groening. I don't know if they worked together or something like that. And so there was the Hey Arnold comic strip would run in, I think it was called Simpsons Illustrated.
The turtle bit me.
Yeah, there's multiple reviews that have said that Hey Arnold is one of like the greatest shows to come out of that generation, because every single character got a resolution or some form of growth. Yep. Even like the stupid bully character gets to like learn responsibility and get a job.
Weird.
And yeah, and there's some fucking heartbreaking moments. There's just like one where there's a random Asian guy who like I think he has like a Texan accent, and oh my god, it goes through his whole Vietnam backstory, and it's a rough episode.
Like a missing daughter, like
It's a whole thing, man. That show is pretty brutal at moments.
Yeah.
Michael, they put you in the game, both of you.
Yep. I'm that one. He was the other one.
You're the turtle. Look at this. He just vomits up like the soldiers and stuff fly out of him. And like chunks of rock. Just things flying out of his nose.
This boss is gross.
It is pretty gross. It's a gross game.
Now I just want to watch rewatch Hey Arnold.
You should do it. You should rewatch the whole thing, and then when the new movie comes out, you can watch that.
I heard they changed his outfit, and then I looked at a picture, and it was like...
Yeah, so they gave him like a different shirt. That's...
It's funny.
Although growing up, I never understood his outfit. I always thought he was wearing some kind of kilt dress.
That's what most people thought.
That's what I was. That was
Just
like
a bunch of shirts.
tied up like flannel.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing like a sweater over a flannel shirt that's really long.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know. Oh, the camera thing is being dumb still.
John, stop breaking the camera.
Nope.
Nope. John, did you watch any of Emily's Nancy Drew stream the other night?
No, I wanted to. I was working on stuff for the website, so unfortunately I didn't get a chance to.
It was just really funny to me the whole way through.
Emily's fun. She's cute. I think she'd be very good for broadcasting, and I heard that it was genuinely entertaining.
Yeah, she kept to a steady 15 viewers, but the thing that I loved was she managed to keep people entertained while she was bird watching in the game, and I was like, this is so fucking boring. But it was still funny because Emily.
Did you ever meet Emily Radon?
I watched her play Nancy Drew.
Okay, so you met her through the internet.
Yeah.
You probably met her a couple of years back when you were down at some point.
Maybe.
She did work for me a couple of years ago at the West Side Store. Perhaps. I don't know. I got a chance to play like 30 minutes of I Am Setsuna last week.
How's that going?
Wonderful. Every time I get a chance to play it, but yeah, I played virtually nothing. But I really like it. I'm really enjoying it. It's a RPG that I'm excited to actually play through. I might finish it by the end of the year. So,
What?
I know.
You're not going to.
Probably not, but
What was the last game you finished?
let's see, I finished Doom.
Yeah. Doom 1.
Doom 1. Yeah, exactly. 1981. Yep, our old 486.
Yeah.
Yep, that was it.
Why are we still using 86? I feel like we should still be using bit numbers, and we should still put 86 at the end of all computers. Because it was great. Like, oh, how good's your computer? You'd be like, what's a 486? Like, oh, I only have a 386. Like, yours is clearly better.
Yeah.
Now it's like, is your computer better than mine? Like, well, I've got this different kind of RAM, and
yeah, it's not as cool. I think everything should have an 86 afterwards, like various drinks or like what kind of milk are you having? Oh, rice 86,
yeah.
almond 86, whole 86. Or 2% 86 would be good too.
That's, what is that?
2% of 86?
Yeah, 86 divided by 50 is 1.72.
See, there's a lot that you could do with numbers.
Yeah, guys, use numbers more.
Yeah, why aren't you guys using numbers? This is Radon. I mean,
Yeah.
Graham. Disappointed. Okay. That's it.
Is that it, though?
It is.
Don't nod at me.
You
Nodding
know-
on a podcast is really funny.
I know it's cool.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
there is there any anything that you know about the Game Expo in Phoenix? Because I actually know nothing.
Absolutely. I didn't even know that was a thing until you told me I needed to cover a shift for you.
I found the website, so tell me what you want to know, and I'll tell you if it's on the website.
What is it?
Okay, so it is the Game On Expo. It is the largest gaming convention in Arizona. Last year, thousands of attendees showed up. This is the second year they're doing it.
Okay.
There's a vendor hall. There's panels. There's like
Steve
celebrity.
Downs.
What celebrities do they have? Actually, do they have like a listing of anybody confirmed?
Yeah, they do. So Steve Downs is the headliner.
Okay.
Jen Taylor is going to be there.
Like the voice actress?
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay.
Al Lowe's going to be there.
Al Lowe is going to be there. Yep.
Okay. Like aloe vera?
Creator of the Leisure Suit Larry series.
Oh, weird. Okay. I'm down.
Darren DePaul, who does a lot of like voice acting for things that doesn't.
He's the voice of Reinhardt.
And then you get into like the YouTubers. Pro Jared's going to be there. The Completionist, Metal Jesus, Pat the NES Punk, Johnny Millennium.
Oh, that'll be fun. Actually, Pat the NES Punk has mentioned me like 5 times over the years, based on like Night Trap and Amiibos and all kinds of crap that goes down at the store. So that could be kind of fun. Okay. It'll be fun to meet some of those YouTube guys. I guess, yeah, it's all like the big personalities. Kadakarus?
No.
Oh, okay. Matt? Or Matt Pat?
Nope.
Maybe there's going to be a cosplaying Corgi.
Yeah, there is going to be a cosplaying Corgi.
What does he cosplay as?
There's a Deadpool picture they show.
It's probably Dogpool.
That probably is Dogpool.
You should do like Ezio or...
He's eating a chimichanga though, for what it's worth, like to
That
complete.
does sound pretty good. I forgot that I actually had this. When I was cleaning, I found a knitted ovary.
I thought it was like a cozy for a really big nipple.
Well, it actually holds a big sperm.
Huh.
Yeah. The things you find when you clean. I gotta purge this house. There's so much stuff in here.
Yeah, you got too much shit.
I know. It's becoming a problem. I gotta bring a lot of it to the store so people can see it. I want to get rid of it, but I want people to enjoy it.
So much of our relationship is just me judging you, John.
Oh, I know.
There's going to be an auction at the expo. You can auction your stuff.
Oh, that'll be good. I have a Street Fighter headband. It's the Ryu headband from Street Fighter 4.
You have to fill out a form if you want to auction anything, though.
I'll fill out a form when we get there.
You will not do that.
I will not at all.
There's no way that's happening.
Actually, you know what? I am excited to make an announcement. I totally forgot about this. But I'm actually, Joel Valley is the guy from Media Glitch. He's the one who invited me out there. And this is kind of a fun special announcement because we're going to be working on a brand new project. And it's going to be a documentary. Okay? And over many years, I've still kept in contact with a lot of really people that are important to me and people that I feel are important to the video game scene, specifically in Albuquerque, because this is where I grew up and this is where I saw these things happen and flourish. And one of my best friends is Dave Wesner, who's the guy who owned the video game store, the very first video game store that I'm aware of here in Albuquerque back in like the late 80s. And him and I are going to be talking. Joel's going to help us film this thing. But we're going to put something together that sort of chronicles the history of how things went down in Albuquerque, what it would be like, or what it was like to start the first video game store, to examine that climate at all, to wonder whether or not it was even going to be viable, if there was a future in it, and then talk to other people who owned stores over the years, various other places, and sort of see what it was like from just the viewpoint of like many different people, you know, from local store owners having to compete with big name stores like GameStop and Best Buy, and we really want to get like a lot of interviews and discussions, and you know what the arcade scenes were like, and this is a big thing we're going to be putting together. So I'm actually really excited to present this. It's a ways off, of course, but yeah, I forgot that I wanted to mention that to you guys earlier.
I approve.
You don't even like video games.
You know what I'm into? Fucking books, baby.
What's the first computer you ever had?
386, EGA graphics. That's all I remember. I could play King's Quest 4 and like Classic Concentration.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
We had an actual Zenith, and it was just a word processor. It was just a black screen with green text, and I could type up a paper for school.
I always liked that. Like even as early as like the second or third grade, I would type up papers for school. I used to type up my math homework, which I probably imagine like irritated my teacher at the time. But
It's harder to show your work like legitimately. You're presenting it to.
I was determined to prove that you could do all of your homework on a computer.
Then an Apple IIe. That was like my first computer, where I got Montezuma's Revenge and
Diarrhea?
I did, yeah. Was the first computer game that ever gave me diarrhea. I used to play Zorro. I used to play like the Human Body, where you could like it's just like a silhouette of a man, and you just put his guts in his body, and you have to put him in the right spot.
It's like reverse operation.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. But you could put him like wherever. You didn't have to like pull out through the stomach. You could just place his knees. You could start through his mouth, and it sucked because there was no mouse, and you had to like one pixel at a time tap 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 the arrow keys, and put it in the right spot. If it wasn't in the right spot, the game was like nope. You have to put things in literally the exact right spot, otherwise the game wouldn't accept it. That was my first computer experience. My first real video gaming experience was having that computer.
Nice.
Pretty nice. What about you, Grant? What is your origins with gaming?
I mean, I played all the older stuff that we had way later on in my childhood.
Okay.
Because I was always the outside kid. So the Nintendo, I never really fucked with when we first got it. It's neither like Commodore 64, all that other stuff we had, I played with later. But I mean, it was fun, but it didn't like blow my mind playing with it. I didn't really get hooked on gaming in general until original Xbox, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You sort of mentioned.
Yeah.
What did you do as a kid?
Broke a lot of stuff. Just went for bike rides.
That's what I did too, actually. It's weird because I know I have like a very large history with games, but I remember being outside a ton, riding my bike and climbing on the walls and going swimming and playing basketball, jumping on trampolines and all that crap.
I was very much part of the go
cult.
the fuck outside because you're bothering me household.
Yeah.
Like every time I did anything annoying, my dad's like, "Go outside, come back for dinner." And then I just have to go fill like 6 hours, so that's what I would do.
Okay. Go explore, look for dead bodies.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. It's impressive. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I'm oppressive. I'm oppressing you right now.
You're the wrong ethnicity for that.
To oppress you?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I'm bringing it back.
Bringing it back? From what?
From like why you oppressed me in the first place.
When did I oppress you?
You're white.
Who did the Jews oppress?
The Hispanics.
That's not correct.
I don't know which history you remember, but
Not much.
not much.
I need to stop looking at all this Hey Arnold shit. I'm making myself sad.
It's making me sad too. Oh, I found like a big pile of cat puke when I walked out there to grab Contra earlier, so that was cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yay.
Yay, thanks.
I feel like you should get carpet. Make it
I
easier.
probably should, yeah, it'd be a lot easier to manage. If you guys like had designated like colored piles and colored marks, little targets.
Yeah.
If I put like a series of boxes or like taped off certain areas, would it be easier for the cats to like single those out as like puke zones?
Probably not.
I think what you have to do is collect the cat puke and put it in a box and leave it there.
So the
And then
cats.
they'll know this is where puke goes.
Okay.
But Larry eats it.
Sometimes, yeah, it's actually a good saving grace that Larry will sometimes finish the job for me. Makes things much easier.
Finish the job.
The job.
Yep. The puke job. That's gross. Cats are gross.
Guys, I stole a video game.
Michael, I'm gonna send an email to EA.
Of all the games to steal.
Yeah. So unfortunately, because I actually have to leave in the middle of tomorrow afternoon, I have a bunch of stuff to do. I got a bunch of stuff to pack, and I got a bunch of stuff I have to transfer to the East Side store, and I have a lot of things to do, and I actually don't know where to start, but I have to start doing some of them so I can get prepared to leave town.
I would start by getting in the car.
Bye, Lamo. Getting in the car. Like, whose car?
Your car, preferably.
No. I don't think it works like that. So I'm probably going to go. I don't know if you guys actually still want to podcast a little bit.
I think since you went live, I don't know how it works.
Actually, I was wondering the same thing, because, like, if I quit, does it give you a button? Do you have a button at the bottom that says stop broadcast?
No.
You are in command right now.
So I could make you guys do this for the next 6 hours.
Like,
Yeah.
we could just leave it open and they could just see the empty store.
Oh, sort of like a security watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Just our
Live
new,
stream
new
them.
security camera. Just live streaming the shop.
That's not a bad idea.
It probably is.
It's probably a pretty good idea, I would think.
Eh.
I promised people that we would do a live interview with the guy who owns India.
Oh, okay. Where is he?
India.
Do you know what time it is in India right now?
Probably
Yeah, we don't want to be rude.
Yeah, he's probably having dinner.
It is 9:40 a.m.
Oh. I just guessed. I have no idea. He's having breakfast, I guess.
Very polite time to call him, actually.
You know, maybe like 11 would be not so bad. 11's a pretty good time when people aren't.
What if he cuts out to lunch early?
No, he just had breakfast.
That's the whole point of having breakfast.
What if he missed breakfast and then he's going to early lunch?
Yeah.
We can't bank on just like hoping that it's super convenient for him. If we need to talk to the dude, like, you know, he's gonna make time for us too.
He owns India, John. If
Well,
he doesn't make time for us, we make time for him.
It's true.
He has a lot of elephants. Okay, fine.
That's he has a lot of elephants. That's what happens when you own India.
Dude, like that's like the what?
That's the most important fact about him is that he has a lot of elephants.
Think of okay. How many do you have,
It's none of your business.
Mr. America?
Guys, I just found a Facebook page called Rough Roman Memes.
Weird.
Not a fan of that.
I miss the Romans, man.
You've never known a Roman.
Yeah. Caesar.
He's not a Roman.
What do you mean he's not a Roman?
You're thinking of the gorilla.
He's a Roman gorilla. Actually, he was an ape. He was a chimp. Buck was the gorilla.
When she got an imperial booty, but then she turns around and she's wearing a Carthaginian Lives Matter t-shirt.
This is pretty good. I'm glad that people do this kind of stuff.
You know what website I haven't been to in a while?
Hmm.
Christians for Michelle Bachman.
That's a good one. They did the same thing with Pokemon, like Christians Against Pokemon. It's the same kind of thing, just a troll website. Then people go there and they think it's real, and then they get all reactive.
It's fun to react to things.
I like reacting. I like when I pour oil into water and it reacts differently than I expect.
Yeah.
I was trying to talk to a bunch of people. This also comes up a lot too, is puppy boobs.
Mm-hmm.
And
A classic Cyberzone bit.
it really is. It's this is pre-Cyber Zone even.
It really, yeah.
Yeah. Is this documented? Is puppy boobs documented in like our Facebook chat?
I can do a quick search for it.
I feel like it has to be in there because I don't think we would have used any other means. Because I don't believe I talked to you on Instant Messenger.
No, this was a video conversation that we had. I think this was on like Justin TV or something like that.
Was it? I thought we had typed a bunch of this stuff out. I don't know, but
Okay, I have 2 messages on Facebook with the phrase "puppy boobs" in it.
are they from different people or are they both? From
They're from you.
Okay. Okay, that's important.
Yeah.
Graham, what are you doing?
I'm scrolling through Christian's from Michelle Bachman.
Okay.
I am a terrible podcaster. I don't know why you guys invite me on.
You're fun, man. I don't know. Like, you're good for conversation.
All I do is find weird little images to put
That's
as my
important.
little tag.
Which is one of my favorite things.
Just odd images that I find.
Yeah. That weird Super Arnold is something that I don't think I approve of.
The apex predator.
Yeah.
Randy Quaid. I want someone to animate that. We need to reach out to the community and get someone to animate the Quaid's fight.
Do you want me to do
Quaid's-
it? It'll take me forever, as if I'm just one person doing it, but...
Someone in the community can do it. I know they can.
Yeah, do a better job in less time.
Just the Quaids.
Any of the Quaids.
Quaid for all.
And all for Quaid.
It's that Bryan Adams song.
That's true. That was his love song when he before he
Well, because originally Randy Quaid was the main character in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and so he wrote that song for him. But then the studio picked up Kevin Costner instead.
Well, is that song All for One and One for Love? Wasn't that the Three Musketeers?
No, that was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
So it was
No,
Prince of
he's
Thieves,
right.
It has like a very
It's Three Musketeers.
vibe.
The All for One and All for Love is Three Musketeers with Kiefer Sutherland, the kid who played Robin, Charlie Sheen, and Oliver Platt.
It was Oliver Platt, yeah.
I used to love that fucking movie when I was a kid.
Well, Rebecca De Mornay had like 10 light years of cleavage, and
That's true.
as a kid, like that was exceptionally, something I was focusing on.
Considering I watched that kind of as like a kid's movie, people die left and right in that fucking movie.
Sure.
Like a lot of death.
Mm-hmm.
And too much Chris O'Donnell.
Wait a second, he's handsome now.
He's on CSI New Miami Vegas Angeles Loss. He is on a CSI show, or NCIS. I think he's on an NCIS show.
I think with LL Cool J.
Yeah, it's LL Cool J and Chris O'Donnell as the main characters.
Which sounds like a joke sentence. Just like, this first thing that pops in your head is that's not true.
Yeah, you're making that up.
Anytime LL Cool J is in something other than like a music video, it's weird to me.
His hand is like a shark's fin, John.
Yeah, it's true. Deepest, bluest.
Were you about to make that reference?
I was.
Toys as well.
Yep.
I think it's weird that he's in that.
I think it's weird that Toys exists.
It's a weird movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, as a kid, I remember wanting to watch it, and I remember watching it and thinking, I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of those movies where, because as a kid of that age, you're like, Robin Williams is hilarious. I want to watch all the Robin Williams movies.
Right.
Not, which is weird because Good Morning Vietnam came out before that, and the movie's really depressing.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Coming off of, like, Hook. And
Yeah, Hook and Aladdin and
Those other ones.
Mrs.
those other
Doubtfire.
ones he did. Mrs. Doubtfire, yep.
Yeah, very kid-friendly.
Jumanji, maybe?
Jumanji was probably around that time. Yeah, and then when Toys, I mean, it's a movie about toys, and it's colorful, and it's Robin Williams' face in the box, and it's wacky, and then it's just, like, nothing but really weird, like, political undertones.
Yeah, it is a really fucked up movie with a very silly cover. Because I remember walking by that cover all the time at Blockbuster, and it's like, that's misleading.
Yeah, so you ruined a kid's evening.
And then there's robots and or cyborgs. I'm not quite sure how that all works out.
I don't even remember. Didn't they make a game off of it, too?
Yeah, there's a Super Nintendo Toys game.
That's what I thought. And I probably never tried it because I didn't have that much interest in the movie.
I played it a little bit. I don't think it was very good.
Shocking.
I need to be reminded, though.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Was it like a isometric strategy game?
Yeah, you have to manage the whole toy fed. No, it's actually it's a top-down. You play a really tall. No, it is isometric. It's isometric. You are correct.
Okay, I remember it being isometric. Well, I think. I'm sure it's not strategy, but
It looks like
remember.
it looks like a really crappy Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
the Shadowrun 2.
Yeah. And the box is just the floating hat with the hole in it,
Hmm.
and the two Zevo Toys logos.
I don't think that's good.
Are there any games based off Christian Slater movies?
House of the Dead in the opposite direction. Or I'm sorry, Alone in the Dark. Alone in the
Glow in
Dark.
the dark.
Yeah. Did that have Tara Reid in it?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I'm gonna look up. I don't know Christian Slater movies off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to.
Leaving the Cube, The Wizard,
Cuffs.
Cuffs.
Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
Cuffs is the third one you thought of.
I actually enjoy that movie.
I do too.
Yep.
I didn't see it until Graham showed it to me.
That was the movie where I realized that he has stroke mouth.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yep. He's in Prince of Thieves. He's Will Scarlet, right?
Yeah.
He gets shot in the
There's
hand.
one. Austin Powers. Apparently he
Oh,
was.
there were Austin Powers games, weren't there?
Yeah, and he was not in the. He was in a deleted scene for Austin Powers. So
Okay.
That's two.
Have you ever watched the deleted scenes for Austin Powers?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They're really good, and most of them revolve around the henchman that he kills. So there's I forget which one it is, but I think it's the guy he dunks in the sea monkeys like tank or whatever, or sea bass that like gets his fucking head ripped off, and then it like it zooms in on his name tag, which I always thought was really weird, and then it cuts to like a birthday party or whatever, and the phone rings and some guy answers, and like everyone's like all excited, and he puts the phone down all sad, and it's like, John's not coming, guys. And it's just like a whole like weird moment about like the effect of killing these nameless henchmen, and it's just every time he kills one, like the guy steamrollers stuff like that, it's got like an aside for it. It's really funny.
Pretty heavy. I like that.
So those are the only two:
Okay.
Robin Hood and Austin Powers.
Interesting.
Christian Slater was in so much stuff, though. He thinks that statistically, like, he should have been in more
I
games.
mean, if you think about it, it really wasn't that much stuff. He was in a lot of stuff for a short period of time, and then poof.
It looks like he does an average of about 2 movies a year.
Does he though?
I mean, these aren't good movies.
But yeah. I told you I pointed out to Sam that he has stroke mouth, and it like destroyed her universe. She just can't handle it. She's never forgiven me for it.
Oh, shit, hold on. The Quaids versus the Bridges.
Wasn't that the fight?
Jeff and Nash.
Whoa.
Are you leaving out Bo?
Bo, because I was thinking Bo's in The Wizard, was what I was thinking of. And then Lloyd Bridges is, of course, like, seasoned vet.
Yeah, that was the fight that we pitched with the Quaids before, wasn't it? Wasn't it the Bridges versus the Quaids?
I thought it was the Wilsons.
I think it was the Wilsons. Or the...
We might have gone through a couple rounds of...
Or those the Baldwin. It was the
We
Baldwin.
did the Baldwins for sure.
There's a lot of Baldwins, but 2 Quaids would still win.
Well, the
Quaid,
one
one
Quaid takes out the majority of the Baldwins.
Including his own brother, potentially.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
a wild card.
That's the risk. Okay. So I can remember if like the Bridges were involved, but I don't know what Bo Bridges is up to these days. He might be insane in a mountain as well.
Bo Bridges. I'm already on his Wikipedia.
What Bridges is dead, isn't he?
His last movie was Underdog Kids.
Bo Bridges?
Yes.
Okay. Is he still
He's
alive?
He is still alive. He was in Max Payne. He was in the Max Payne movie.
Oh, weird. I
He
forgot
was
that.
also in Free Willy: Escape from Pirates Cove.
Dang.
I knew that. So, unfortunately, that information is in my brain.
Yeah.
It's weird. There's so like the stuff that gets made into video games is so random to me.
Yeah, especially back then. Like, you'd just be like, oh, that movie's a video game. That doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah. Aladdin, you get it. Lion King, you get it. Toys, you're like, based off name alone, maybe
Yeah.
that one squeaked by.
Yeah.
Well, there's some weird shit out there.
They did a Beethoven game.
is it a Beethoven game?
But
There
why?
is Super Grodin.
There's Grodny's in that one. Home Improvement.
Yeah.
It's weird to base it off like just like a sitcom.
Yeah,
Like,
there's not a lot of action in Home Improvement.
No,
Yeah.
it's mostly talking. You know, raising your kids and your wife gets mad at you.
Is there a Roseanne video game?
No.
There's not.
And at the end, you find out Dan's been dead for 3 years, and it's all just like a whole thing.
Depressing. Yeah. The bad ending.
Yeah. Oh.
You don't collect all the orbs.
Yep. to alter reality and bring Dan back to life.
All of the what's the fortune tellers tickets or whatever, like in Big.
Big.
Well, there's not a Big game.
There's not a big game.
Are there any games?
There's a Hudson Hawk game.
There was Hudson. That's a weird.
I like that movie. I'm
I
one
do
of like
too.
6 people.
I like Hudson Hawk as well, but like it's a weird thing to make into a game.
There's a Darkman game.
There's Darkman. Peyton.
I could see that. Is there a Duckman game?
No, what? Yeah, there is actually. There's a really, really rare PC CD-ROM Duckman game.
I did not know that.
I want to play through The Tick again. I haven't played through it since I was a kid, and I remembered really enjoying it.
You're going to be so disappointed.
The most monotonous beat 'em up I've ever played.
That's unfortunate.
So
I'm just gonna preserve my memory.
that's probably a better idea. Speaking of beat 'em ups, though, some kid came in the other day, and there's like a lot of games I'd missed out on, especially during the Game Boy Advance era because they released 8,000 games a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
But some guy was like, "Hey, is this Star Wars game any good?" And I was like, "I have no idea. Let's go ahead and check it out." And I think it was like Attack of the Clones on the Game Boy Advance, and it was just a hand-drawn brawler like Final Fight with unbelievable animation, and it looked so good, and it surprised me so much that I was like, "Shoot, I need to buy this." It's only like $2 too.
Yeah.
But it looked absolutely fantastic. I was very impressed. Because actually, it wasn't based on the Clone Wars, but it looked like it almost had Clone Wars graphics if it were like a hand-drawn cartoon.
Okay.
But it was extremely slick looking, and I was not expecting that in any way. So again, always like finding little surprises, hidden gems.
I'll have to check that one out.
Hidden gems.
I've been enjoying just kind of messing around with some of the stuff in the Game Boy case.
It's fun. You just get
Most
to-
of it's terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, it's neat to just try something and see how terrible. Or I played Mucha Lucha,
Okay.
Mhm.
little luchador kids.
Luchador.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's so much stuff for the Game
It's
Boy.
one of those things. When you make 8,000 titles, some of them are bound to be good.
Yeah, statistically, you're pretty safe.
The bigger the name, though, the more likely it is it's probably going to suck. From what I've discovered.
Like the length of the title.
Now, oh, technically, like when I did He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, nope, not very good.
That's
Not a
the-
good game.
Would you say Hannah Montana was better?
You mean
Or
Lizzie
Lizzie
McGuire
McGuire?
2?
Sorry. Yes.
Yes, undoubtedly, I would put Lizzie McGuire 2 over Masters of the Universe for the Game Boy Advance.
That's a shame that that kind of stuff happens.
It's just one of those things.
It's just one of those days.
One of those dog days. Dog day afternoon.
One of those dogs.
One of those
Just one
puppies.
of those dogs that ruins time travel for you.
A hotel for dogs. Didn't they make a Baby's Day Out video game?
Yes.
I don't know if it ever came out. The one was definitely produced.
Yeah, you can play it on like a bunch of emulators and stuff.
There was also a baby's game.
Baby's Kids?
Yeah. Wait, you guys never played Bebe's Kids?
I have not.
Oh, it is one of the worst.
Did
I
something
think John
just
is
happen?
getting. I think John is getting his copy out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry. I actually have it hidden. It looks like it's caged in. It's a place where you put like CDs in a desk, and you can remove the CD bars, and I have it like trapped behind there, like it's in like game jail.
Is it really bad?
It So it's a Final Fight clone, where you fight one enemy at a time, exploring an amusement park, and you are constantly running out of time because the game runs really, really slowly.
What I mostly want to show you, I don't know if like this can convey the image quality, but like it's kind of hard to see on the camera how bad this looks with this
Well,
box.
that's how the movie looked.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm looking at that price tag. Holy shit.
oh yeah, we thought that would be a fun joke.
Okay.
So no, but like the actual image quality on this box, maybe like look up like a high-res scan or something on your computer, because like everything else is quality printing, like the seal of quality, everything else, but the actual image quality is so washed out and terrible on like this part of the box. and you can't really see it unless like you're looking at it, but it looks absolutely awful. Play as either Khalil or LaShawn for an entire adventure. Do cartwheels, spin kicks, and super punches to stop the enemies. Collect items to launch multiple long-range attacks. All the humor from the hit movie is now a video game sensation.
All the humor?
Entertainment. Yeah.
Like all of it?
Every joke from the movie is in the game.
Is that why the humor from the movie is gone?
Yeah, because they siphoned it into the cartridge.
It really is just fucking gross and washed out looking. That's so funny.
Oh, did you find a picture of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks terrible. It's like they the guy finished doing like the art for it, and then they left it in the sun for like 2 weeks, and then they printed that on the box.
They're just like, good enough.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty terrible.
No one's gonna buy this shit anyways.
Nah.
RoboCop.
RoboCop. There weren't really any good RoboCop games either. I played the NES one a lot, but I don't know if it was good. I don't think it was.
Wasn't RoboCop versus Terminator decent?
I remember I wanted to buy it just because the box was like that cool embossed plastic.
Yeah.
Like 3D and cool looking, but I don't think I ever actually played that either. I don't know.
I was playing an import Super Nintendo game that I thought was pretty cool, and everyone on my stream was like, "This is dumb. It's just a RoboCop versus Terminator ripoff." I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. All right, sorry, Contra. We're turning you off.
Contra.
Okay. I think I'm probably gonna get going. I gotta get stuff prepared and packed and like ready. So I'm leaving tomorrow afternoon. So.
Good.
Don't lie to me.
Good. Get out of here.
No, you get out of here.
I'm doing it. I'm going.
I hope that you find a video game.
I don't think it's gonna happen there. I'm probably gonna find a bunch of cool like ladies of the night.
Well, it is Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're known for that.
Prostitute
Walkers.
City, USA.
Yeah.
During the 100-degree nights.
Yes, exactly. So walk around boiling their flesh off at midnight. Okay. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sorry.
Nope.
I said sorry, John.
I didn't hear it. Okay. So is there anything you guys needed to say? Anything cool?
There's a solid gold wizard teaching kids remedial Spanish.
Is that the book you're reading?
Yeah, that's the title.
By Beverly Cleary. Good. Okay. All right. Check out www.garetro.com.
And he's gone.
Mm-hmm. That's what he says every night before he falls asleep.
Yep.
Remind myself.
And then he never checks it out.
I don't, or the people who watch don't.
You don't.
No, I haven't been there yet. I'm excited to check it out, though. I've been telling myself to do this for some time.
It's not that great.
Well, the new launch design should be live very, very, very soon. We're hoping this week.
Very, very, very soon.
Very, very soon. Possibly even tonight. I'm meeting up with Nick tomorrow. We're going to find out what the specifics are.
Nick?
Yep. Also, check us out online, facebook.com/GAFans, or facebook.com/GamersAnonymous, or facebook.com/SuperGamersAnonymous. Check out both of the stores. We're also at Cyberzone Podcast. We have a whole bunch of stuff you can check us out at. So,
yep.
I want you to be proud of your heritage, but don't use it to like enforce ill will upon others.
Yeah, check your heritage.
Yeah, that's right. Check it out. Books. Check them out.
We use semicolons every day.
Yep. Thank all of you guys for watching. I don't know who's still with us, but I thank you for being with us because you're very brave. Okay.
You're a bastion of light in an otherwise bleak and hopeless world.
That's right. That's what happens, and I appreciate it. Okay. You guys have a good evening.
Yep.
Talk to you in the future.
Some pesto.
Some pesto, please. All right. Goodbye.
Boy.